So what's throwing me off is when we start our intro and outro, I have to turn my head away from the screen, and then just because the audio's coming through, but then the video, it's throwing me off of trying to line my mouth up with your mouth. Well, that's
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, always make sure our mouths are aligned, because that's a sign of true friendship and a good connection for co-host on a show.
yes.
You just say it. Don't like. I don't know why it's such a big deal.
He's a visual person.
I get. Well,
Yeah.
okay, then don't look. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he wants to look at my mouth.
Good call.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, he's like. He's told me he's
He wants to look at my mouth.
staring at the mouth.
Well,
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
yeah.
What are you guys smoking tonight?
I am smoking the Adventera, the Royal Return, and I'm drinking coffee. But in my coffee, I have Appalachian chocolate moonshine, and then I have a shot of it.
Just in case the coffee shop's not enough.
Just in case.
Just in case things go horribly wrong. She's going to start
Shot of
doing
moonshine
shots.
with a coffee chaser.
Yeah. Moonshine eyes over here. I am smoking the and it's gone. The Alec Bradley Nika Puro, and then as a backup, I have the Alec Bradley Gatekeeper. Kerr, what are you smoking tonight?
Actually, I'm smoking a one of your favorites, the Undercrown Sungrown.
Oh, I smoked that the other night. Great, it was my last one too.
And my backup is the cigar that made a lot of news and controversy. From the Limited Cigar Association, it is the Cigarabon.
Oh, okay.
I still have quite a few of these remaining. I do belong to the LCA, the Stogie Road. So whenever they do come out with a new release, I get a bundle or two, and we sell them. But I've been holding on to them, so I still have some of those Paul Stulac cigars.
Yeah,
that's a freaking.
Well, my backup
got some
is
balls.
the Upsetter.
Yeah. Now, do you have all those on your website?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the Paul Stulac. I don't have the Cigar Bond.
No, that's what I meant. Like you said, you had some, and I was on your website.
I'll be honest with you. When I started seeing all the noise it was making, I just kind of held on to them. So
all
I
right.
figure, because they're good cigars smoked, and they're great cigars.
Because within minutes of it being posted, all of a sudden band was over it. They were sold out.
Yeah, they were looking for extras.
We didn't even open up the package yet.
Yeah, they were looking for extras.
Wow.
So
hang on to that one for about a year.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, it's like finding those Sakas.
Yeah, the STFUs. Like I said, we've got one, and
well, that's mine.
Yeah.
No, not we. I have one. You smoked yours. That is mine.
So we are going to hang on to it.
No, I will smoke. I am now going to smoke it.
I'm hiding that.
I am smoking it.
So
Kevin, if you're extra nice to me, I got 6 of them. I may find it in my heart to give you one.
But he already smoked them. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. That was my pack.
I know.
Okay, so why do
you're
you
holding on to it?
No, I'm going to smoke them.
Yeah, in like 5 years.
No.
So
when she's ready, she will smoke them.
Yeah, but I'm not a hoarder of cigars.
Yes.
Kevin is a hoarder of cigars.
Those will be in probably just a couple years. Those little 5-packs are probably going to go for, I would say, $200 to $300 a 5-pack.
Nice.
Just
got
for
a
what
whole bunch.
Yeah, Jen spotted them, and it was like they were all over this humidor. There was like a couple here, a couple there.
But you want to know what's sad is so many people were hunting for those to be able to do the whole thing that, to smoke them and try to guess and everything before Steve came on and they were like nowhere's to be found. Here you guys found like 6 of them.
I like going into the humidor. Sorry. I like going into the humidor and knowing certain ones aren't available or looking for certain brands.
Oh, yeah.
And I just seek those out.
Sounds like what I've been saying for the last 5 years. Thanks, Jen.
Exactly.
Thanks for doing in 6 months what it took me 5 years to.
What I really like to do over the course of the last 6 weeks.
Last weekend.
Yeah. So I'm lucky enough. We have a lounge, and they've always. And look, the owner never knows what he had. Like Shabazz, he didn't know he had all those Room 101s until like a box had fallen on the floor behind another box, and he pulls it out. but now he knows that's Jess and I love those like barn finds. Yeah. And he'll hang on to them, and then next time I come in, he'll be like, "Hey, I say save these, or you're interested."
Yeah. Well, there was a guy that opened up not a lounge, right? It was just a cigar shop.
Yeah.
And that's where you found all those vintage acids.
Yeah, he came down from Nebraska, sold out what he could, and he was actually the largest Drew Estate lounge in the Midwest, and brought down the rest of his supply. And I walked in there, and he had the original acid 5s, the 5-year anniversaries.
Really?
And a 3-count tin, still cellophaned in the tin. Wow. And he had a stack of them. And I bought almost the whole stack, and then talking with the guys at Drew Estate, and they're like, "We're pretty sure you have the largest supply of those in the known world."
Really?
Yeah, you never know. Someone has them somewhere. There's other people.
Oh, yeah. It's from what's known.
Hiding them.
And but yeah, and then luckily I got to smoke one with Dirty Fabian at the Connecticut Barn Smoker.
Guess what? Fun fact: I still have not been allowed to smoke one.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, because Kevin's like, "Oh God,
I have told her.
She won't share her sock. She won't share her sock.
I have told
Wait, he
her
already smoked the sock of 5 pack.
I've told her many times that she can smoke those. She just has to smoke it down. She needs to take time.
Like I'm not going to smoke it.
I know you need
just
to appreciate.
That's what I'm going to say.
How big is the cigar?
It's not big.
It's a Bellicoso, so it's
I don't know what the size is.
Maybe 6.5 inches. Yeah, it's not big. 6 inches. Bellicoso taper, so smokable area about 5 inches.
And the fact that it pretty much lost its potency.
Oh no, there's no infusion anymore. It's gone.
God forbid I smoke it.
Oh yeah. No, talking with Fabian, he goes, acids are not meant to be aged. I would say 99% of the infusion is gone. If you smoked it, you tell like there was something different about the cigar. Like it was just
like it's like a watered down drink.
Yeah, like something was there.
Of perfume.
Yeah,
right.
Like how like sometimes if you spray perfume and it kind of you inhale it a little bit and you get that on your tongue. That's what was left.
There's a place in Jersey that I went to, and this is a while ago. And I have his card somewhere, but I was stuck in traffic, and I was like, and I looked up, I saw Cigars in this little strip mall, and I pulled in.
Is that when you were supposed to meet up and it was raining really bad?
No. And I rolled in, and it was just, a stop and, grab and go. And he had a whole bunch of these glass, water bong stuff. But as I started on the corners and start going around, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, there's just so much vintage stuff in here. Old Camachos, just everything imaginable. And I pulled the guy over outside. I'm like, what is the deal with this? And he said every time he gets a shipment, he always holds back a bunch of boxes and just keeps them at home in his humidor. And then like 5-10 years later, he'll put it back on the shelf.
Wow.
And he had 3 boxes. I think Gurkha, if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably wrong with this, but they made a cigar called the 2012 before Oscar Valladares did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it is the box, the humidor. It comes with 100 cigars in it. Was 100 cigars right? 50 cigars?
I think so.
And the box, it's hand carved humidor. It's very, very rustic, very rough, with just 2012 carved in the lid, sealed. He had 3 of them. He was selling them for $1,000 a piece.
Wow.
And they were released, in 2012 because of the whole Mayan calendar thing. It wasn't all nice and fancy. It was like really rustic. And I was like, "Can I buy some of those?" He's like, "I'm not taking them out of the box to sell them. You could buy a box for $1,000." And I'm like, I was so tempted, but then I realized I'd have been single shortly thereafter.
Well, that and you could, no matter what they were, you were never going to resell those on the secondary. Even Gurkha fans don't spend crazy money on the secondary.
But it was pretty interesting. But this guy, literally, I found old cigars and hidden gems along the way, but this one, his whole humidor, he had some cigars in there that were not vintage, but it was like every other cigar was just vintage.
I wonder how Oscar must have had, because Oscars came out in 2012 too for the whole Mayan thing. I wonder if they had a deal or that's strange that
I don't know. It was about as crazy. I tried looking it up, and if anybody's listening to this, if anybody's listening to this, if you know what it is, please mark in the make a comment in the comment section below, because it was just very, very rustic, very rough humidor that was carved out with 2012 on top.
Wow.
That was it. I didn't even see what the cigars looked like inside.
Man, that was probably the coolest thing that I've seen. I mean, the coolest thing I found was the Camachos, the Diplomats. Yeah. That was the coolest thing I found. But I think that was the coolest thing I've seen in a humidor, outside of seeing when I was at Big's Mansion in Chicago. They had pre-embargo Cubans in a humidor for sale. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Jeff at Corona has a pretty massive pre-embargo, and some of them are, I think all of them are $200, $300, $400, $500 a piece. I don't think he has anything under $200 per cigar.
No, they're all. Yeah. This one here, they had up to $1,500 depending on what it is. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So, you guys want to start with our intro?
I thought we have started.
Yeah, we have to do an intro. Yeah, come on.
Yes. So I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And we are
the Broadleaf Bullies.
We talk. You listen. We are the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
It's all about the timing, guys. We'll get it.
Kevin had to look away.
I did, and I still screwed it up. Yeah, I think I went early. So you guys, just came back from dinner. Where'd you guys go?
We just went up to our niece's house. Today's Killing's actual birthday, so her husband likes to smoke meats and really did a great Boston butt, incredible smoke ring on it. So we just had a quick dinner and said happy birthday.
Yeah, you should tell him, because her parents won't do them for me. You got to get him to smoke some eggs, and then make deviled eggs out of the smoke. Ooh. I've asked your brother and your dad several. I was at a barn. I was at the barn smoker up in I think it was Pennsylvania, or where were we at? Maybe it's one of the ones. Yeah, they had and they smoked the whole egg, and then they peeled it and they made deviled eggs.
I don't know if I'd like that.
And they had and it wasn't smoky like the KFC like cigar, but it was fantastic.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that.
Maybe that was in Kentucky.
Yeah, maybe it was in Kentucky. I can't remember where we were at. It wasn't.
You can't say we because I.
It was in Kentucky because it was at the distillery. So
might be in Pennsylvania because deviled eggs are big in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
them and pickled eggs.
No. We were at a distillery, so it had to be Kentucky. Is where we were at.
Yeah, but
it might be Kentucky because deviled eggs are really big in Kentucky.
Okay. Well, maybe it was me and Graham.
How long ago?
I don't know.
You always say we.
Listen.
We as implied.
Let's get back to the topic. Smoked deviled eggs.
Interesting.
I want them all the time because they were so good. Carrie, you gotta.
I love deviled eggs.
I'll have to tell him to
I'm a fan of deviled eggs.
I love deviled eggs too. I'm picky with what smoked foods I eat because I don't want it too overpowering.
Yeah.
I want the taste the flavor as well, but this was just a super great blend. The smoke ring was good. It was really tasty.
I don't know how much smoke can actually penetrate the egg shell.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you can taste it, and then plus how long would you do it for? I mean, that's some trial and error right there.
That is.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to try though. I mean, we got a smoker.
I don't have the patience for it. I use the grill part of it, the propane part, and the charcoal part. The smoker part.
Why'd you have me buy one with a freaking smoker on it?
It sounds
hey, look,
good,
Kerry, this
and
is
maybe
great.
one day I will try it. But it's the same reason why I don't bake. I love to cook. Baking just takes a lot of time, and
it does
just
take a lot
real
of time.
Specific. And I don't know.
My daughter's a wonderful baker, but I don't have the patience that she has for.
Oh, did she bake you something today? Oh no, that was me. Sorry. Oh, I didn't know we were gonna talk about Amber's baking.
Jessica is a wonderful
when
baker.
I just baked some stuff today, but that's okay. We should just move along from that topic.
The pictures look fantastic.
A wonderful baker, and they were delicious. The chocolate part was delicious.
Were they shortbread?
No, they're just sugar cookies.
Sugar cookies, nice.
Just sugar cookies. I might try shortbread. I'm trying to practice making cookies for my friend's wedding. Mm-hmm. So
I should be able to bake. Because I do love spending hours in the kitchen. I think it's also the precision of baking where you have to measure just everything. When I cook, it's never the same. It's never the same.
You just want to throw shit. You don't want to have to measure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It always
can't just throw
different.
baking soda. It's
Cookies are pretty easy though. Like cookies are.
Yeah, because you cut the freaking log and put it in the oven. That's not hard at all.
Toll House does all the work.
I wish I was telling Kev I should have just bought cookies.
Yeah, I like the Otis Spunkmeyer, the bag of frozen cookies, and then you just pull them out one by one, and that is
well,
it.
I wasn't making that stuff for you. I actually made all those cookies, and I'm bringing them to work for them to taste them and tell me if they like them.
Do you make it from? Are you making it from scratch, though?
Yeah, I did make it from scratch. Yeah.
Do you do cakes
but cookies
as well?
Are easy. What's that?
Do you do cakes as well?
Sometimes. It just depends. But I do make some really good cheesecakes.
I love cheesecake.
I do some different, interesting cheesecakes.
And Jessica really does. I mean, make everything from scratch.
Yeah, I usually make stuff from scratch.
And because Abe was, even I had met him a couple weeks for the smoke in, and he said, we were talking just about food, and he goes, really, there's a lot of people online that I see, they post pictures of their food, and he's like, you and Jessica are legitly the only ones I'm jealous of.
What?
Like, yeah, he says out of all the food pictures, he goes, he's the most jealous of the food that we post. He said
What do we post? I post pizza.
Yeah, I mean, just all the,
Kevin's posting his chicken nuggets and making Abe jealous.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not making
that crazy 9-piece.
I know, but even when I do the pizza, homemade.
Yeah, it's all homemade.
The pizzas look great. Now, is your cheesecake creamy or is it chunk? See, I'm very picky. I like the New York style, super creamy.
Yeah, it's creamy. I don't like it like chunky or
chunky
hard.
cream.
Well, it's like hard.
Yeah, when the ricotta there's a thicker.
I don't like cheesecake, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because I
don't
like
it super creamy.
I like every now and then I'll stop by the Cheesecake Factory and I'll get us an entire tiramisu cheesecake.
Oh my god, that's delicious.
Like twice I've called up ahead of time, like, hey, because they got to pull it out of the deep freezer and get it ready. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd like come in and pick up a tiramisu cheat, and like, how many slices would you? I'm like, the whole thing.
Tiramisu is my next favorite dessert next to cheesesteak. Those are my two go-tos.
And I miss having it when I worked in the restaurant business. Our head chef was Swiss, and he worked in multiple Michelin rated kitchens throughout the world, and he made tiramisu, like not cheesecake but tiramisu itself from scratch. He made his own ladyfingers.
Oh wow!
He made
tiramisu is not cheesecake, so
no, he doesn't about tiramisu.
I know, but but I'm like, you're like, oh, not cheesecake.
Well, he didn't want to get it confused with the tiramisu cheesecake that he referenced earlier.
I understood what he was saying.
Okay, I'm like,
I got you, Kevin.
I follow Kevin.
That is fake flavoring on the cheesecake that you get.
At the Cheesecake Factory? Yeah, it's pretty good, though.
It's good, but it's
not.
It is.
They sell it in the supermarket. I get it at Publix and Harris Teeter's.
Yeah.
Oh, you get the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, they sell individual. We do have a Cheesecake Factory here, but you can get individual slices at the grocery store in the freezer section.
We got ourselves a Cheesecake Factory down here in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Just opened up a few years ago.
That is an annoying place to eat. No menu should.
Well, the menu's too big. The food quality really has gone down. We don't go there anymore.
I get overstimulated when I open up that menu.
I don't know.
It's like a kid in a candy store. You don't know what to order. It's just
I think my favorite cheesecake that I made was that upside down pineapple cheesecake.
That was pretty
good.
I
like pineapple.
Oh my god, that was so good. And then I make like a really good strawberry shortcake with like homemade biscuits and stuff and fresh whipped cream and.
Yeah, Jessica always makes. I don't like whipped cream. Cool Whip, none of that. Jessica makes some kick-ass whipped cream, which is pretty much just
and then for
cream,
my sister, her son, when he turned 5, they actually came to Disney World. That was his like birthday gift, and Christmas and whatever was to celebrate his 5th birthday at Disney. And I made the cake, and it was like a strawberry shortcake, and I stacked it, and I did little Mickey Mouse ears, and I made fresh cream cheese like frosting and all this stuff, and chocolate covered strawberries, and like decorated everything. That kid was like so spoiled. Mm-hmm. That took me forever. We're driving up there and I'm like, if this shifts or this falls over, I'm going to kill somebody. Yeah. This took me forever
and by somebody, she meant this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I wish I had pictures. I don't know why we didn't take pictures.
I don't know.
My sister probably did.
Now, let me ask you something. When, like, eating a meal, I love smoking a cigar after eating a big meal. But then there's also smoking a cigar after you eat a dessert. Do you have any cigars that you favor after eating a big meal versus after eating a dessert?
If I had it my way and I had the choice, I would smoke during the meal as I was eating, and then I would smoke after. I would take a break and then smoke again at the dessert.
Well, I understand you're answering the question that you want to answer,
yeah.
But I'm asking you to answer the question that was asked.
For me, it depends. I mean, obviously, you're probably the same way. Depending on the meal, if it's a big, full, heavy meal, it's always going to be a big, bold Dunbarton cigar. It's going to be a Mi Querida Tricky Traca. It's going to be a Sober Mesa El Americano. So, and then something lighter. Maybe.
Why are you looking at me?
Maybe like an Alec. I mean, on a lighter meal, I have 1,000 cigars I could be smoking.
Right.
But on those heavier meals, it comes way down what cigar will complement, a heavy full meal. What about you, Jess?
I don't know. I just go in and pick something, especially if something I know has nicotine in it.
Yeah.
Anything after like a dessert? Like, is there
for the dessert? I like having any kind of the like a tobacco, or I like to have the devil's weed. I do. I just like that coffee, like something that has like a coffee undertone. If I'm gonna smoke I call them dessert cigars. Some people have them in the morning. I like those to end my night. Yeah. Something a little sweeter.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't like the double sweet. So I'll go with something, a little bit lighter, like an Alec Bradley, or just something, another light cigar. So to have a dessert and then having an infused or an aromatic cigar for me is it's too much.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it's too much in your head.
Yeah. What about you, Kerr? Probably.
No, I actually agree with them. I can see that. I don't smoke a lot of flavored cigars, but the ones that I have, if I smoked it after dessert, it probably would not go over very well. I mean, that's just me. After a meal, like you said, a good hearty, high protein steak meal. I like something that's going to be dark, something stronger. The Saka, his cigars always, hit the spot. They're great after a meal. I'll smoke, I like my Edition 35 after the meal because that does have some little bit of oomph to it. Those Paul Stulacs I have, you almost have to smoke it after a meal like that, or you'll fall over if you don't. After like a dessert or with coffee, I have been smoking more of the Alec Bradley cigars.
The Alec Bradley cigars are really good with coffee. They do, but I will tell you, I definitely have a lot more Alec Bradley in the morning with my coffee. Yeah. There's just something about that. Their cigars and coffee that just goes so well together.
They're really, they're a great cigar. I like the Black Market. I mean, my brother-in-law is a big fan of the Black Market. I'll smoke that after a big meal. But with coffee, especially in the morning, man, they have some really nice cigars. That Paper Tiger that we just picked up, that was a fantastic morning smoke.
I just really like the box, and I don't recall seeing it.
Yeah, it was
lighter with a lot of flavor.
I told Kerr, I said, I don't remember seeing that box. It's been a long time since I've seen anybody post anything about that.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. They guys found another cool find.
Now, Jen, I mean, obviously you don't smoke cigars. What is your go-to dessert routine? Do you have?
I always have that coffee afterwards.
Okay, so what is your go-to dessert if you're gonna choose a?
If I could, it would be either cheesecake or tiramisu. That really is my go-to. But if we're out somewhere, and like we had pizza the other night, and it's very few pizzerias in the South that make zeppelis, which is basically fried dough with powdered sugar on it, but it's the way they make it.
Like an elephant ear? But...
No. They look they look like munchkins, but they're fried dough, so they're small round balls.
They're a little bit like more like flatter than like a munchkin. They're not like round. They're
you just pop them in.
So,
Zeppelis.
They're good.
Zeppelis.
So
have you ever seen?
He doesn't know.
Funnel cakes.
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, it's a funnel cake.
Basically, I was eating them leaving the pizzeria, and there's still powdered sugar all over the front of. They
give it a big fancy name. It's basically pieces of funnel cake.
Okay.
No, it's different than that.
It's not. Funnel cake is very light.
So it's almost like would it be like a smaller beignet? Is that
what? But beignets are even not dense.
Those are airier.
Funnel cake.
Zeppelis are dense. It's like dough.
Keep searching, Kevin.
It is
funnel
dough with powdered sugar on it.
Okay, funnel cake.
So what they do is
not funnel cake, because funnel cake is airy, and
it's definitely
funnel cake is
solid.
Fried dough with powder on top,
but it's not the same kind of fried dough.
It's hollowed and very
like
honeycombed.
funnel cake.
No, not Zeppelis.
Well, it would be like
now all the Italians are going to hop online and be like
starting to freak out.
Okay, so it's like the edge of a funnel cake.
Should we Google it and read the definition?
No, it's funnel cake. It is a cake of funnels.
I have to read the definition to you.
It's cool. It's all good.
So instead of them taking funnel cake and going like this, they just go like this.
No, for you. Nothing.
It's really, you have to eat them
Amandola's going to listen to this and be like,
no
fucking full
I'm waiting for Chris Monaco and... Here, Zeppeli is an Italian pastry consisting of deep fried dough balls in a varied size, but typically about 4 inches in diameter. This fritter is usually topped with powdered sugar, maybe filled with custard jelly, cannoli-style cream, which I don't like them filled. I just like them as a donut. But they're hard to find down here because of how they're made. So it's rare, but definitely tiramisu and cheesecake are my go-tos if we're out to dinner. Otherwise, we always have ice cream and different desserts here. My dad's a baker, so as much as we tried not to eat a lot of that stuff, we have a bunch of brownies in the house and God knows what else.
Funnel cake. What is funnel cake?
Fried
dough.
And always coffee.
With powdered sugar.
As well.
Sometimes filled with custard. No, it's or cannoli style frosting.
Not.
We'll send you a picture of it later.
It's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing.
Usually funnel cake is got the powdered sugars because it's got it's a holy, so they put it on a plate. Then you can load it.
Squirt it into the oil.
Or chocolate or whatever. Exactly. Yeah, they squirt it in. So no, it's not the same.
I'm sure they could load your Zappolis if you asked for it.
Not the Zappolis. Zeppelis.
Oh my God, Kenny.
Put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, Kev.
It's terrible.
And I'm sure even some people will say we're pronouncing it wrong.
No,
I don't care.
It says here Pennsylvania Dutch, which is what my family is. It's typically served with plain powdered sugar. And you can serve it with jam and jelly and all the other happy horseshit. But it's made by pouring batter.
It's different. The key is the type of batter, and it's not batter. Funnel cake is batter. Zeppelis is
funnel
dough.
Cake.
There's
a difference between batter and dough.
Funnel cake is basically pancake mix.
Yes, thank you.
Mix. There's a big difference, and you wouldn't make beignets that way either, because then they wouldn't be beignets.
Beignets are delicious. If we had access to them, we have a breakfast place
Potato. Okay,
make them.
We have a breakfast place called Another Cracked Egg or something like that. Another Broken Egg. They have beignets that are fantastic.
Yeah, but just make them. Graham and I made them. They're not
never
hard.
Made them.
They're really easy, and they're really
send it to me.
Because you just dropped some funnel cake batter into a fryer.
Dough.
There's a difference between batter and dough.
And it can't be that hard down here because it's the South. They deep fry everything.
Yeah, I'll send you the recipe that Graham and I.
But there's a difference between dough and batter. We should have clarified that from the beginning, and then I think we would have skipped this whole part.
Yeah, well, no, because they still would have argued it.
So, Jessica, you said you had a story.
I got a story. Okay, so my district manager was at my store the other day, and she was sorting through shoes, and a pair of Adidas was... So she's like, oh, look at these Adidas. And I'm like, no, it's Adidas. And I went through this
Kevin would have been so proud.
And she was like, why do you know that? And I was like, because Kevin is a nerd. And knows everything. But yeah, funny. I was really proud of myself. I was like, I'm going to say it correctly now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say it correctly. We just got notice at work. There's an Adidas factory store, like an employee store here in Greenville. Yeah. And for the month of March, I get 50% off for working at the hospital. Wow. So,
that's awesome.
Yes, I'll have to go in, and then the workers will look at me like I'm insane.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm here to look at some Adidas.
They'll be like, are these all for work? Yes, all 50 pairs.
Sorry.
These are work shoes.
You Google Zeppeli versus funnel cake, it says basically the same thing.
I don't believe it.
No.
No,
it's not the same.
Dough are different.
Google doesn't lie.
Google lies a lot.
Yeah,
and also,
it's
when
fake
people
news.
come into my work and say, oh, your hours are different than what Google said, I said, well, Google isn't our website. Goodwill is. Have a nice day, because Google is stupid.
Yes.
And I just made up the closing time tonight. You know? Yeah.
No, but Google is not people's website.
Yeah.
That's not where you should go to get your actual true information.
Yeah, I know. You're supposed to, if you have a good marketing team, you're supposed to update that.
No.
You know, Google believes our house is open from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. because I changed it to where I'm not a house. This is a manufacturing facility.
Oh, no.
So I come up
awesome.
on,
We did the same thing here at the Stogie Road rest stop.
Yeah,
Oh, did
I
you?
really wanted
Yeah.
it removed because I don't want residential listed, our
So
physical
Jen, you gotta
address.
knock at the door at 9:00.
Someone
Go to
looking for the
humidor.
Stogie Road rest stop.
When we used to have the tattoo sign out in our front
Oh, my
window,
God.
people would knock, be like, hey, you do tattoos? No.
Why did you have a
we had
tattoo
it-
sign?
We had a 4
Oh, you
foot.
put it out the front window.
Well, actually,
Jess.
it was probably like 3.5 feet by 2. Now
Was
it's in
it
my
was it
office.
with like the
Was it neon?
Yes,
It was neon. It was Las
It,
Vegas. It was Las Vegas neon, purplish pink, or was it green?
it was I
Did
don't
it
know.
have
it
a
was-
leg
it was
lamp
green.
next to it,
It
like
was
from a
colors,
Christmas
yeah.
It was
story?
colors.
Well, I gotta hear
What's
the
that?
story on why they're confused why people stopped by when they had a neon
Well,
tattoo sign.
I'm not
on the window.
confused why they
So
stopped
I
by,
had-
but
we-
why would you think people...
I
Do
had
you
it.
really think someone's advertising that in their house?
I had it in our
Yeah.
front window.
Yeah.
What? Really? I've never seen...
For like 5 years. The tattoo shop that I got all my work at, they got a new sign, and I'm like, hey, what are you gonna do to that other one? You're like, you want it? I'm like, goddamn right, I want
You'll
it.
take
Yeah.
everything
Like, what do
free.
But it would be
Yeah.
late at night.
Like, and you would have it light up?
Oh yeah, it was on.
Yeah,
it was on.
it was
it
on a
was-
timer.
yeah, it was on a timer, so it'd light up like from 6 p.m. to like midnight.
Well,
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
there anymore.
I got a sign out front that says 24-hour diner. I have no idea why people stop by and want food. No idea.
No, I
So-
never would have thought to stop at someone's home.
Yeah, I'm surprised
There's
the
some
city.
creepy ass people out there, Jack.
That's
Who
why
want a
I
tattoo?
I get mad at him. I'd be like, I have to answer the door because people would be ringing the doorbell,
Oh
and
my
I'd be
God, I would
Yeah,
hope I had a
and
gun
then
with me.
I'd be out front for like 20 or 30 minutes and come back in. She's like, "What was that all about?" I had a tattoo, so I talked to her about like the design they wanted, and and then
Did you take a
and then
deposit from them and send them on their way?
Yeah. So then I'd have card. We always had cards by the front door and stuff. So I'd give them a card and a sticker to the tattoo shop.
You know,
Consultation
A
fee.
cigar prop sticker.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It didn't help either. I mean, that we still have it, but people used to stop all the time about our pirate ship in the front yard.
Yeah, we have a pirate ship too,
Yeah.
planter.
Yeah.
Did they think you were like actual
I don't know.
pirates
A mini
or
golf-
giving
a mini
rides?
golf course?
People would just be like, "Where can you get those? You have to build it." Oh,
Yeah.
like one lady, she's like, I can't. I really want to do something like this for Halloween. Well, are you going to build it yourself?
Yeah.
'Cause
So you had
that's how
pirate
this
ships
got
and
built.
tattoos at your house?
Yeah, and then in the pirate ship is a 6-foot tall skeleton
Yeah.
hanging onto the helm.
Yeah, and then
there's-
my owl
and
skeleton.
then she has an owl skeleton.
Well, that explains completely why people thought it was an actual tattoo shop.
yeah.
and
yeah.
then
Mini
the-
golf.
the whatever you call them, the cannons.
Oh, the cannons.
We've actually shot firecrackers. At
Oh
it.
yeah, so it looks. But I
Wow,
remember
our house is boring. We need to get Mr. Bones out front
We
again.
do.
So funny story on that. So we're building it. It's me and the kids, Kevin and Amber, and when I wasn't a big woodworker back then, so we had my neighbor Peanut, who's retired, and he came over and helped us, and we're about halfway through, and then he was tired. He was like, he's 70 years old, so he's like, so let the leave this for another day. There's like no way that you can build this in a day. So like he went home, and as soon as he gets out of earshot, Amber goes, "Fuck that guy, we're building this today." And she was just like, because everybody was tired. I mean, we were sunbanked, sweating, and but until he said it can't be
What is
done.
sunbank?
Sunbaked.
Oh, baked.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
we're
what is
banking.
bank?
We're banking the sunlight,
I'm like,
banking
what is
it.
sunbank?
We're
What
banking
kind
it.
of word
So
is
yeah, but as soon as he said it can't be done, that's how I knew that was my little girl right there.
Now,
So-
why did you want a pirate ship in your front yard? Like,
Why
what
would you-
brought that on?
Why not?
I saw
Was it something for the kids to play on, to hang out? Like, was it a fort inside of it?
This is pre.
pre-Jazz.
Do you ever get those catalogs in the mail and like cut out the Sasquatch out of wood or
No.
build this? Okay, and it had a build a pirate ship one. Hell
well,
yeah.
they also made what's the game? Cornhole.
Yeah.
You
Amber and I we built cornhole, our own cornhole boards.
So it was just something for them
I
to do
want
together.
cornhole made with for VSR. I've been saying it for years, and Kerry won't allow it. I think that would be a great game for Outback.
Not having someone throw freaking beanbags at my face.
I wanted one of Kerr and one of Duncan.
I thought that you just the logo.
No, she wants to put she wants to put my face.
I wanted him and Duncan.
Like our VS, yeah.
Cornhole.
It'll be like one day she'll be like, "Hey Carrie, open up your mouth real wide, so let me take a picture." And then next thing you'll have cornholes and you're sliding it up his beard into his face hole.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I get enough shit. I don't need beanbags thrown at my face on a.
I thought it'd be a great advertising gimmick.
I just
or like the VSR head would be good.
No, I refuse.
I like it. I think cornhole's fun.
I just can't. I don't accept the name.
Backyard game. We can rename it.
Yes.
He doesn't like the whole part of it.
I don't like the whole cornhole.
Yeah.
I can't accept that as a name as the activity.
Okay.
Well, I think it's trademarks. You can call. I think like the generic name is beanbag toss.
Yeah, beanbag toss. I had beanbag toss when I was a kid. We did tic-tac-toe.
The bag's okay.
Yeah.
Cornhole. Why don't we just call it freaking butthole?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Honestly, growing up, we never called it cornhole. It was always
I don't remember it in New
toss.
Jersey.
Yeah,
beanbag toss.
It was bag toss. You know, you just throw the bags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Now it's called
nobody
cornhole. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, we
I
always
like
had
backyard games.
there's some innuendo there that I just
bocce.
don't feel comfortable supporting.
Yeah, we always had bocce, horseshoes, and the beanbag
We
toss.
had yard darts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yard darts.
Yard darts.
Yard darts are the
Yeah,
best.
that was fun.
Badminton. We actually had that in our back.
badminton, yeah.
We had it in our backyard. We just had
The
to throw out
shuttlecock.
The shuttlecock.
Yeah,
The kids would
shuttlecock.
laugh. They're
Shuttlecock
trying to freaking
and
slam it.
cornholing.
And cornhole.
Yeah. We had badminton too. Well, we played it the once, like everybody does, and then that was.
Oh no,
that,
we played it all the time.
That's what we did. We spent how much money on that
A lot.
freaking set?
Yeah.
I went outside,
The kids
set this
got
whole
frustrated.
freaking thing up, and I'm sitting there looking at my kids and we're going, dude, we lived with freaking, playing badminton, and you guys literally are struggling.
It was.
You're hitting this little bird.
Yeah, it's so easy.
It's not that hard.
Well, they're trying to kill it.
And they're
you don't
getting
need
mad.
a lot
No,
of
you just gotta
effort.
tap it.
I'm just like, guys, this is
Tippity tap.
it was always the great sport that we play going up when we go like summertime. We go to up north to my grandfather's our summer vacation, and it was like that was the best time to see all my aunts and uncles all drunked up.
Yeah,
trying to
Did you say
play.
drugged up.
Drugged up.
Drunk,
Yes,
whatever.
and sunbathe. Holding Milwaukee Pounder in one hand, trying to freaking hit or cigarette, trying to freaking hit the shuttlecock.
What's a Milwaukee Pounder?
Old Milwaukee 16 ounce.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that. I've never
yeah.
heard that term before. Yeah, okay.
Old Milwaukee Pounder. Yep.
Okay.
I love backyard games, so I just thought it'd be fun, summertime, cigars, my whole merchandise thing, but that got shot down.
But our
and I
net
did
now
not do.
sits wrapped up next to the shed.
No, I think we tossed it.
Did we?
I think some garbage
Yeah.
pickers grabbed it because of the aluminum poles that it was attached to and took the
and
netting.
that's what happens with badminton.
We still have the
No,
nets and the
badminton's
shuttlecocks,
awesome.
though.
It does,
Whatever.
and it was
Or
not
the-
like
the
the freaking
rackets.
cheesy little poles.
No.
Like it was like it came
was
with
the real deal.
badminton and also volleyball.
I'll just tell you, anything they make now is nothing like how it was made when we were younger. Everything is cheap plastic. It's just not meant to last.
Well, back in the day, we just used to use my mom's wash line and play over the wash
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, we had wash. Yeah, we had wash
wash
lines.
lines, too.
Yeah.
The cemented poles, because if you were playing football or something and you ran into that, it was not going to like fall over like the poles now.
Yeah.
You were going to have a concussion. Put some ice on it, Kerr. You a little dizzy? Here's some water.
Yeah. Here's some hose water.
Yeah, no trip to the emergency room with a full neurological scan.
Yeah. The only medical advice you got is just don't drink the hose water right away.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it. The hot water.
Here's a bag of ice and a cherry popsicle. You'll be okay. After you're done with that, you go back out and play. You'll be fine.
I would say here would be more scary to drink water right out of the hose right away because of the sun.
37 the plastic popsicles later, and your mouth looks like the Jester, the Joker, all cut up, and like what is going on?
I miss hose. We used to, when I was in summer camp football, they used to actually have hose water connected to they strung up PVC pipe, and they put PVC pipe across the top and drilled holes in it, so more than one guy could get there and get water. So, now it'd probably be like a huge violation of some sort of health code.
Yeah, there would be like some fungus growing in there.
Never flushing it out, just nothing, No, the black stuff never comes down,
No, you let that rinse out first. You're like, okay, let the really hot, greenish water come out first. Once it gets a little chilly, then start drinking it. Yeah, but we didn't have concussion protocols back then either.
No.
Our concussion protocol was make sure Carrie doesn't go to sleep, fall asleep.
Yeah. For like 2 days.
If he starts vomiting, just give us a call though.
Yeah.
Explains a lot why I can't find my keys and freaking wallet half the time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've had one too many concussions.
So Kerr, back to the dessert. What is your dessert of choice?
I don't have a sweet tooth.
Okay, so are you a salt?
I do not.
Are you a salt? Are you a salty?
I do have a salt.
You do have a sweet tooth.
A little one.
When we have cupcakes, you love them.
Chocolate is yours. Are you a secret cupcake eater?
He's a chocolate.
I'm going to tell you what my sweet tooth is, so it's not exaggerated chocolate on the show.
I'm ratings. Not exaggerating at all.
There's some people that have a sweet tooth, and when I define a sweet tooth, it is they have to have sweets in the house. Yeah. I don't have to have sweets in the house.
No, we don't.
I don't. If I don't have, there's no cookies, if there's no cupcakes, if there's no chocolate, I'm fine.
Yep.
Well, then that's a house. A home always has sweets.
No, first off.
Between a house
so we need to make a house a home.
But that's funny because I'm the same way. I could care less. I only buy it because he eats it. And it's not even stuff half the time I don't ever eat any sweets.
Yeah, I don't buy it all the time.
When I do eat something, it's usually out of boredom or whatever. But I normally don't. Or if I like going, if I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on a diet, I don't go crazed and crave Oreos or ice cream. I just don't. Now when it comes,
I do the Italian ice.
When it comes to,
I love Italian ice.
When it comes to what I do like, if it is sweet tooth, I guess you could say, I do like those little mini vanilla cupcakes. I'll eat them.
We had vanilla bean ones the other day that were fantastic from Fresh Market.
Or I do like Oreos. I will eat Oreos, but I don't like just have to have
seek it out.
Well, there's been times here when if I go on a binge or something like that, we'll have cookies and ice cream and shit, and I won't eat any of it. Now, Kev, back to what you're saying, I am my weakness is like the salty stuff, the potato chips.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Like it's Doritos.
It's not a dessert.
It's not a sweet.
It's
not a sweet. There's that sweet or salty or savory. I'm more of the potato chips. If you put down a container of cookies in front of me or a bag of kettle chip, I will fuck those kettle chips up like there's no tomorrow.
Cape Cod kettle
not
chips.
Me. I said I'll make it my life goal to eat every cookie on that platter.
No, I'm a chip guy. I'm a chip. I do like Doritos, but man, kettle chips.
If we're having sandwiches, I need to have kettle chips with it.
And
I'm happy with those little tiny bags of chips, like the tiny ones. Like that's too many chips for me.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll get bags of chips, and John will be like, "I got extra chips," and then you'll see like 5 mini bags around me. It's like, do we have any more of those mini bags of chips? So,
you know what Jessica's secret delight is, and it's always strange watching a grown ass woman eating a fruit by the foot, like the little.
I make it into a ball,
and it'll be all the way down to her feet, and then she's like got the wax paper, and she's just like nibbling it like a squirrel, just letting it get shorter and shorter.
Yeah, no, I peel the paper off of it and make it into a ball, and then eat it as a ball.
Yeah, no, but she mainly eats it. I'm like,
I do like
grown-ass woman eating fruit by the
foot,
like a little squirrel.
It is.
I'll eat one occasionally. It's not often, but if I buy them for Wyatt, because Wyatt likes them, every once in a while I'll be like, I'm gonna give myself a fruit by the foot.
So she'll unwind it all,
Well, because we never had those things as kids, like fruit roll-ups and stuff. Like we never was allowed to have that
Skittles and Starburst.
Skittles and Starburst.
It's like I'll find Starburst wrappers all over the place.
Yeah.
Like she was getting, she leaves them as a trail so she doesn't get lost.
And I prefer the pink Starburst are one of my favorites.
She's like, here, you want a Starburst? I'm like, no, man, they leave that gross. I just can't.
And then the minis that are already unwrapped, you could squish them together and make different flavors. Oh my gosh!
If you prefer any other Starburst besides the pink, get the hell out.
The orange.
I like them all.
The pink.
I eat all of them.
I eat them all, but the lemon is my favorite.
Yeah, the pink. You can buy the bags of your favorite color online.
Yeah,
just a whole.
No, I want all the colors.
Yeah,
I don't want a favorite color. I want all the colors because I like them all.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have a little bit of a, but I don't go crazy. I do like M&Ms.
Yeah. Kerr's
I do like peanut M&Ms.
I like M&Ms.
He likes plain, and even with driving and road trips, I always have a bag for him.
I'm an M&M. That's the one thing I do. But actually, the one food that I do have a hard time kind of Xing out whenever I'm trying to diet is peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
Yeah, but peanut butter is not bad.
Yeah, it's got a lot of fat in it.
It's got a lot of sugars,
but it's still a lot of.
Yeah, but then that means you just back off on other sugars.
But I could eat peanut butter morning, noon, and night. That's my breakfast.
You usually have it every morning anyway.
My breakfast is usually
protein in it.
Yeah, my breakfast is usually like a muffin, an English muffin with peanut butter on it, or a bagel with peanut butter on it.
English muffins.
My dad makes English muffin bread, so you can slice it like bread and toast it. And
I'm gonna tell you something. Muffin. His English muffin bread,
it's fantastic.
I need that in my life.
Bomb.
He also does bagel bread, so this way you slice it and it's bagel bread, and toast it, and you feel like you're eating a bagel.
Now, what is the English muffin bread? Is that like maybe a sourdough or what is that?
No, it's English. It's English muffin. It's whatever the ingredients are with that.
You won't eat it. You won't eat it.
You know those ridiculous English muffins you get with all the nooks and crannies? It's just
I don't like them.
Yeah,
I don't like nooks and crannies. They freak me out.
His English muffin bread has that great flavor, but not with all the effed up craters. It is so freaking good.
Insanely good.
I love it.
Like the next time you guys come up here or we go down there, I will have him make you.
I will try the English muffin bread without the nooks and crannies. Yeah.
It's good.
It toasts perfectly.
And you put like you do an over easy egg and put it over top of it, toasted. It's freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. We're big carb people. I like my breads.
We are not. We're not too much into carbs.
No, Kevin is not. Therefore, I have had to not be, but I secretly do that shit at work.
I love bread.
He's not around.
Just a whole
closet carb addict.
She has Wonder Bread hidden in your closet. Wonder Bread so you could squish it together and eat that.
I change a lot of things about myself because of Kevin. Because Kevin is very neurotic in some of the stuff
don't say.
Likes and doesn't like. So
I just
pick and choose my battles,
which I'm trying to be better because I have within the last year I have allowed mushrooms in the house.
Well, so you're making progress.
I'm making progress. I not only
Jess
have I
says
allowed
Kevin's neurotic with certain foods.
No.
And Kevin just said he at least allows mushrooms in the house.
Over like the last year I've allowed them in the house and I've even made them for you.
Yeah, because you done fucked up, and that was I'm sorry. I'm gonna cook you some mushrooms.
It's usually when I fucked up and I
that's part of a Kevin apology is bringing mushrooms in the house.
Here, I'm sorry. Have some mushrooms.
Yeah,
you know, and
like because the fact that he hates them so much, and he actually bought
what
them.
kind of mushrooms were they?
They were shiitake ones.
Yeah, I think shiitake portobello.
Something.
But,
I don't
just didn't get her white button mushrooms.
No, I buy mushrooms for me and Gabby because we eat them all the time.
No, I used to cook them in the restaurant business, so I know a good mushroom.
So why do you despise them so if you've never tried them?
They're just disgusting. The way they look, the way they grow, it's a fungus. The way they feel in your hands. I don't even like touching them.
Let alone shit all over them.
Yeah,
but there's other foods that are grosser to touch and handle. So why mushroom?
Name one.
What?
Different fishes. Oysters.
What are you talking about?
Liver.
Slimy or gross.
Slimy.
Talking about which foods are more disgusting to touch than a mushroom.
Liver.
No, liver's fine.
I think like raw oysters or clams are pretty nasty. I mean, I like.
You're not touching those though. When's the last time you touch them? You got the shell and
you put it in your mouth.
You eat them.
Yeah, but you're not touching them.
Yeah, but with a mushroom, you take a fork and eat it.
Not you.
Is that how I eat, Kevin? Awesome.
I do like mushrooms. I can take a mushroom, clean it off well, chop it up, and just eat it like that.
I never liked mushrooms until I met Kerr and I started cooking with them more. I do love the flavor of them, and I've gotten better with eating them. We had them the other night fried from the pizzeria that the Zeppelis were at. Mushrooms. They really do make great fried mushrooms.
Whenever I go to a place, if they have deep fried
where
mushrooms on the menu,
I scald my mouth because I pop them in as soon as they're still hot and there's still oil in them. And Kerr tells me every time, like, why do you do that?
It's
and it's every single time.
Every time. I used to go mushroom hunting as a kid when we used to go up and visit my grandparents, because that's what we did every summer. It's just what you did. And so she would take me out mushroom hunting with a bag and looking for mushrooms.
I think that's probably where your hate of mushrooms begins.
I think so too. I think it's more.
I think it was more of picking the fresh mushrooms and the feel of it that's probably traumatized you now later in life.
I never found one ever.
Well, and that's the problem. So that's why you hate them so much. We found the cause.
You never found one. You felt like it was a fruitless cause of trying to. It was never a satisfactory hunt.
Maybe if you found one, you'd feel better.
When I lived in North Carolina, we used to grow them in logs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a mushroom fan.
I'm
not growing them in
I love chicken and veal marsala, and that has mushrooms in it. A great mushroom sauce.
Yeah.
The closest I came to was when I worked in Temple, Pennsylvania, outside of Reading, and there was mushroom farms all around us, and it just smelled like shit because that's what mushrooms are freaking in. And twice a year, we would sit out back when I worked at Enterprise, either smoking a cigar or cleaning out the cars, and you would see the two white panel vans go down the dirt road, INS. And they would go down, and all of a sudden you would see freaking the workers running through the fields, because they up in that area they had a lot of undocumented workers working at the mushroom factories, but at least a couple times a year that would seriously happen. There would be white panel vans would go down this dirt road, and then the workers would come running through the fields.
Was the boss named Goomba?
No, it wasn't Goomba. But that happened a couple times a year. And we'd sit back there and be like, oh shit, look, there goes the freaking INS fans.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah, I cook with mushrooms quite a bit. I have to say that's a staple in our fridge now.
Back to cooking. I'm sorry, I digressed into...
That's okay.
A staple of our cooking is onions. Everything I gotta have onions in the house.
Onions, shallots.
And then Kerr, I don't know... maybe I'll tell. She probably doesn't care if I tell a story.
No, I just like how I got skipped over about what my favorite dessert was.
Well, we've gone back.
Everybody know.
I asked you twice, Jess.
Dismissed me.
We started with Jen 35 minutes ago, and then we went into a cornhole thing before.
No, it's cool, Kevin. I know what your agenda is tonight. I'm on it.
I asked you twice, Jesse, and you.
Jess, he's going to get you some mushrooms tomorrow.
You fought vehemently the difference between Zeppelis and
yes.
That's where we got lost.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Jessica's turn.
That's where we.
I didn't even bring it up.
The fight of funnel cakes and Zeppeli. That's where the whole. Jess, I have a question for you. What's your favorite dessert?
No, it's okay.
I'm interested.
No one's ever gonna know.
Go ahead, Jess.
It's Italian ice. You said it earlier.
No, it's not my
She does love Italian ice.
I do love Italian ice too.
But to me, you guys say desserts, and I think even chips are desserts.
And that's fine.
I think anything that I wasn't allowed to have as a kid is a goddamn dessert.
And if it follows dinner, it's dessert.
Yeah, if anything we had after dinner, it was considered
even more
your
dinner.
Snack,
even a steak is a dessert.
So like growing up, we weren't allowed to have a lot. Everything was like a treat. Like it had to be a special occasion or something. Even to get ice cream.
So chips.
No, chips.
So we circle back on the subject.
Salty and savory. It can be dessert, just like sweet.
We used to dip chips in our ice cream growing up.
Yeah, that I like because I do that with my fries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's gross.
Fries? No, French fries at Wendy's in the Frosty.
And the Frosty is the best.
Yeah, that's the best. Well, the best would be McDonald's fries and a Frosty. Because Wendy's make garbage fries.
Oh, no. Wendy's fries are better.
Wendy's fries are the best.
Oh, my God.
I love Wendy's fries.
I've never had a hot one, and I've never had a crispy one my entire life.
They're not meant to be crispy.
You have to get them hot.
Well, that's what a French fry is.
You have to get them hot.
McDonald's has gone downhill.
Well, Wendy's doesn't know how to do that.
I agree with you that Wendy's fries cold suck ass. I mean, they are horrible.
Well, anyone's fries cold.
But when you get them fresh and you really salt them down because they don't use a lot of salt, to my opinion, one of the best fries.
Because they're like the hand-cut fries. Really good. And they used to have cheese sauce, so you get fries with cheese sauce to dip them in. They don't have the cheese sauce anymore.
McDonald's fries are pretty damn good
when they're done.
And Burger King fries used to be good, but they actually switched years ago from actually cooking them in fat to vegetable oil.
Yeah.
And that's where the flavor changed.
I hate Burger King fries now.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Burger King in general is a garbage place to eat. The food is horrible. At least down here.
So, Jess, what's your favorite dessert besides chips? What else?
I didn't say chips were even remotely my favorite dessert. You guys weren't listening. That's why when you started going off, I was like, all right, cool, we're back to Jess.
Jess, I was listening. You said,
I just let you off. No.
You said anything that was forbidden when you were a kid is a treat, a dessert for me.
Yeah, and anything
chips
that follows
was an example.
Dinner is dessert.
Right,
okay.
But if I had to choose an actual dessert, it would probably be tiramisu. Like, that's something that I absolutely love. But I'm also secretly a cupcake lover. Like, I always say I don't like sweets.
It's not a secret.
Well, no. I don't buy them.
Yeah.
I will not buy them. I will not buy them and like bring them in the house and eat them. But if I'm out somewheres and there's cupcakes, I am eating them.
Do you have a nothing but cake down there?
What's that?
The nothing bundt cake.
No, I don't know.
They do the mini buntlets. Let me tell you, Jess, if you just need a good cupcake, they have a 12-pack that I'll have to see if I could ship them to you. They really are fantastic.
Graham, like in that little plaza, we went and saw him in North Carolina. Didn't they have a nothing bundt cake?
Probably.
I don't know.
It's fantastic.
It's insanely good.
But if I had to also pick like something else, it would probably be my peach fried pies, which are not fucking from McDonald's.
Hand pies?
Fried
my fried pie. My hand pie, fried pie. But, yeah.
Like the apple pies from McDonald's.
Fruit empanadas.
No, not even close.
The old ones.
Nope.
The old ones, not the new ones.
No.
The new ones.
Kevin knows what I'm talking about because I've introduced it to him the proper way.
Yeah.
So next time we're in North Carolina.
During our road trip, put that on the list.
Yeah, he needs to stop at a farmer's market and get you fruit pies.
This is a place. It's called Simply Delicious. They're in Waynesville, North Carolina, and they legitly understand what a hand pie, fried pie traditionally
it really is the best
made.
I've had.
It's incredible. And there's other people who, when I've said Simply Delicious, who live near there or have gone through there and have said, oh my God, that is the best place to get
How far is that
pies.
from Greenville?
From Greenville, it's like a 2-hour drive.
Waynesville?
It's about Waynesville's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, right?
Is that
Waynesville? Waynesville, North Carolina, right outside Maggie.
Oh, Maggie Valley.
Yeah, it's right outside of Maggie.
So northeast of Asheville.
Greenville should be like a 2-hour drive to Greenville.
45 minutes.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, you are less than 2 hours from the greatest fried pies ever made.
Yeah.
It's west of
I will do a road trip just to try them.
It's west of Asheville.
That's a nice area.
Like my God, it's so nice over there. I love it because that's where I lived for almost 10 years. It's
that
just
whole
gorgeous
area is pretty cool because
I tried to convince him to move there.
Every year we used to go apple picking, right, up in North Carolina, and I'm not a big donut person. Mm-hmm. But we stopped when we went to this place. They had
Skytop Orchard.
Skytop Orchard. We had apple donuts from there.
Oh my God! That's fresh made.
And they had
these fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
They had this line. I'm sitting there going, "This is a pretty big line." When we got the freaking box of donuts, they were hot and fresh. And as my brother-in-law and I start walking away, and I bit into one, I must have. I returned. I'm like, "Here's your 4 donuts you were looking for." Holy.
Yeah.
Hell, they are just...
We didn't get the donuts, though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The donuts are...
we got cider and some other stuff.
Their cider's delicious,
we went apple picking, and then Wyatt wanted a wagon. And I told Jessica, I'm not pulling that wagon. No, Wyatt's going to pull it. I'm like, Wyatt's going to pull it for 80 feet. And Wyatt's going to... I'm like, I'm not pulling...
Why is that what you remember? So negative. Nothing was fun with you. No. It's always the, bad... because Wyatt didn't want to
road trip Kevin.
That day...
It was awesome.
We walked around, 18 miles. We got 7 apples. And we
the kids climb the trees. We had like a gazillion pounds of apples.
Yeah.
7 apples in a wagon.
Yeah, 7 apples in a wagon, and it was yeah.
We got the wagon too, and it was a great idea, because when you go, it's going downhill, but then when you're done apple picking, you're pulling that effing wagon uphill, and there's big crevices in the ground. I'm like, boy, this just sucks. What the hell?
It's such a beautiful area.
The apple donuts up there were the best donuts I've ever had in my life.
Were they just apple, like chunky apple donuts, or were they just?
No, it was just
apple donunots, and we did get donuts. I think
they were so fresh and crispy.
Oh
my god! Yeah, they were crispy on the outside, fluffy and airy on the inside.
Now I feel like I got to go back through pictures because I take pictures of everything
to
prove it.
Fantastic. Yeah. They're fantastic.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, I kind of would rather have like fruits and stuff though.
So they were kind of like an apple flavored funnel cake, is what you're saying.
No, an apple flavored Zeppeli.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus.
It's the same thing.
Moving on.
See, now we do have because that's Amber's secret passion is cupcakes. We do have some good cupcake places around here.
Yeah, I'm not going to ever say, oh yeah, like I like this particular cupcake. It's not about that. It's just the fact that it was something, I don't know, I did as a kid. Like, we weren't allowed to have treats, really. So my grandfather, we would get, like, a little cupcake or something. So then he would go like this, and I'd climb under the table, and he'd give me his cupcake. So it's like a
guilty pleasure.
Thing. It's like a guilty pleasure. So I will never say, oh, I like this cupcake. It doesn't matter what cupcake it is. It's just a cupcake.
Cupcakes by Ron in Sarasota. They're like $10. They're like $10 a piece for cupcakes.
Wow.
And they're the best cupcakes.
How big are they?
The size of your head.
They're pretty disgusting.
They're pretty big.
Huge.
Yeah. Cupcakes by Ron, Sarasota, Florida. Best cupcakes in the world.
That you know of. Like, I'm sure there's a place everywhere that has their best cupcakes.
It's like Famous Ray's Pizza. The best pizza.
Best pizza.
Yeah.
Well, we had a fair here, and we got first time I ever had deep fried Oreos.
They're disgusting.
Yeah.
I hated them.
They're
really?
I thought
thought they'd be good. I've never had one.
Well, I thought they'd still somehow maintain its crisp inside of it, which I was completely wrong because they're soggy and mushy. So the texture, I'm a texture person.
It's like having a Zeppeli that was filled with a mushy.
No, it was gross.
A mushy Oreo.
It
was horrible.
I don't like Oreos. They're disgusting.
I like the Oreo thins.
I don't like them
because then it's more of a chocolate cookie with just a little bit of the cream filling in it.
You like the Hydrox, the generic Oreos?
I don't like
that taste
Oreo
like chocolate.
Well, actually, Oreos is the generic Hydrox. Hydrox was out first by like a decade. So Hydrox is the original chocolate sandwich cookie.
Are you taking notes? You got this?
So let's
I stand corrected. The generic Hydrox is better than the Hydrox.
Yeah.
Hydrox is like chocolate flavored cardboard.
I'm not a huge cookie fan. I don't really like cookies too much.
I like the Girl Scout cookies with the coconut and the caramel.
Oh,
Samoans.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I went to the store today. And Girl Scouts is out, the cookies, their stands are open. So I said to the lady, oh, how much are cookies this year? She said $5 a box, and then these two other kind are $6. And I was like, damn, Girl Scout cookies went up. So I said, oh, I'll get you on my way out. As I was coming out, she was just packing up, and I said, oh, crap, like, can I get 2 boxes? She's like, no, I've already packed up. Meanwhile, everything is still out. She's just starting to pack up.
That's horrible.
And I was like, fuck, like, I don't want your fucking Girl Scout cookies. Like, you're not even going to sell me a box for your daughter because I know you have to sell so many. Like, what the hell?
I just learned the other day because I was wondering why
Unbelievable.
Online,
I was pissed.
Online, someone would mention like a Samoa or something else, and someone like, I've never heard of that. So the same Girl Scout cookies, there's 2 different bakeries that bake Girl Scout cookies, and depending on where you live in the country, you have a different name for your... Yes, you have a different... You have a different name.
I don't believe that.
I just learned. Like,
I believe the Hydrox thing, but that seems
like 2 days ago, the same Girl Scout cookie is called something different in a different state.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. That's not how that works. No, you're wrong.
So going back to my statement, that is my favorite. Since Jess stole my thunder of her angry freaking Girl Scout cookie mom who's packing up her shit and refused to sell her any Girl Scout cookies.
I don't want to admit that he's right.
Oh, is he right?
Yeah, I'm right.
Where do they call it? What do they call it?
It just says it varies based on the map of where
they
live.
There's Samoas in the East Coast. On the West Coast, there's Slumoas.
Slumoas. It doesn't say, though.
No, it doesn't. It just says, do Girl Scout cookies have a different name in different states?
And it says there are 2 different bakeries.
Correct.
I defer back to Jess's statement. Google's stupid, and I would not rely on it.
The names are not the same state to state. So if you want Thin Mints in one state, they're going to be called something else in a different state, which is just dumb. If it's a Thin Mint, it's a Thin Mint. Really, are you insulting someone calling it a Thin Mint? Like, is the issue that it's Samoan?
Thin? No, it might be thin.
Yes, the Samoa is also
a thin
called,
cookie that's minty.
You're thin shaming
they're also
the cookie.
called a caramel delight is the same thing as Samoa.
That's right,
stupid.
caramel delight, because they do caramel delight ice cream.
Yes.
They put the little caramel delights. I bet you it has to do with something political.
And you know it's political. Everything's political these days.
No, they just then there's a tag along versus the peanut butter patties.
Correct.
I think it's because
it's a generic name versus.
I think the bakery owns the name. So if it's a different bakery, the Dozy Dough is also called a peanut butter sandwich.
Well, that's just
you almost have to be
so dumb.
You almost have to be a huge stingy jackass if you say I own the name Tagalong, and because the Girl Scout cookies want to make cookies elsewhere because we can't handle the volume, I'm keeping a name, and you can't call it a tag-along because it's not made here.
This year's new one is some kind of s'more cookie. That's $6.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just put. Yeah,
we just buy the Thin Mints. They go in the freezer because they're good to pop.
Catch a glimpse of the s'mores that she's putting in her bag.
Yeah.
Well,
couldn't break a 20, honey. Can't break a 20.
I was gonna buy 2 boxes. I had a $10 bill. I was gonna get him some Thin Mints, and then I was gonna get some the Samoas. And no,
Caramel Delights.
Caramel Delights.
Yeah,
I'm offended by the Samoa.
And I guess are they called Thin Mints or are they just called mint cookies?
I think on that one, like it was just thin, so I think only one bakery.
But I was like, forget it then. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not gonna even try to support this lady.
You should have said that's why you're going bankrupt and all your girls are going to the Boy Scouts, and they just walked over.
It's true.
No,
it is.
No, I just felt bad.
Next will be Boy Scout cookies.
That little girl was standing there ready to get boxes. Like
the girl probably was crying afterwards.
She can win stuff. Like they have to they can earn badges. Yeah. They can win stuff. They can do all kinds of stuff.
In the mom's defense, she probably has a hectic schedule, and she didn't want to be out in front of the goddamn public.
Why are you defending the mother?
Why aren't you
still out there?
Why aren't you defending the mother? The mother probably works hard, has a day job, and then
don't put your kid in Girl Scouts.
And then on a Saturday, you're out there slinging Girl Scout cookies.
I did Girl Scouts with a child that wasn't even mine, and I sold cookies. And was a co-leader and did crafts and crap with all the girls. And I was never even a Girl Scout when I was a kid. I had to learn it on the fly.
Was that the section?
It would be one thing if everything was already in the car and packed up, but it was still visibly out there.
Yeah, I was really
Was that the badge, Jess? Crafts and crap? The crafts and crap badge?
Crafts and crap badge.
Listen, I was not a Girl Scout or whatever, but these were daisies. Yeah. They're before the Girl Scouts.
And the
daisy.
And the patch was just a pile of poop.
I never any of that.
It was a pile of poop.
So you were a brownie?
Yeah.
No, I was nothing.
Miss Jen,
I never did it.
Miss Jen helped me get my crafts and crap badge.
Listen,
we made yarn Ronald McDonald's.
I dated his daughter. She was all about in the Girl Scouts, and somehow I got tricked into doing it. And I even had
trickery.
Yes,
trickery.
It was trick because she looked at me, and how could I say no to a little kid? I was like, all right, I never did this shit before. No. I was a tomboy, so there was no brownie Girl Scout. I wasn't wearing a skirt or anything. That shit was not happening. So when I did it, I ended up not realizing when you order cookies, you're responsible to sell them all. You can't give them back. So now you have purchased all those cases of cookies, which I didn't. Nobody told me that. So of course I'm yeah, we're gonna do 25 cases of cookies. Well, we only sold I don't know, maybe 10 cases worth of cookies. So here I had all these cases of cookies that we couldn't sell. Somehow I convinced my boss to buy them all as a charity thing, a donation through business, and we gave Girl Scout cookies out to everyone. But yeah, they don't tell you that you have to
buy your inventory.
Yeah, buy your inventory. They didn't tell you that.
Jessica put in her 2 weeks notice. Why are you leaving? I got to sling these on the streets.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just buy them all.
Yeah. Actually, my boss, that was pretty awesome of him because it was like $300 of cookies that he bought from me.
That's a lot of cookies.
That's not that much.
Yeah, well, we were trying to win the goddamn bike. I thought we were going to do it.
That is my like
Jess
average.
was determined to get that
that's
bike.
like my average budget for cookies. It's like three. Like that's all it was, $300. I'd have bought that. Yeah.
God, this is going like way back too. I'm trying to remember, but like the bike thing ended up being like you get so many points to win. Like put your in for a raffle. It's not even like, oh, you sold this many. Now you have to go into a raffle. So, like, the chances of you even winning this shit is impossible. Girl Scouts. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. Now they're even more on my shit list.
Very deceiving organization, allegedly. Yeah, when we say something like that, you gotta say allegedly.
Crafts and crap.
Well, that's pretty much what we had. Well, because that was all I knew how to do was, like, kind of, like, artsy stuff. So I was like, there's art badges. That's what we're going to earn today.
So
I never did any of that.
A little bit.
Joe
was in the Boy Scouts for a little bit, but
very short. Spent a lot of money getting him all set up.
He looked like a damn good Boy Scout. We had lots of money invested.
Oh my God, it was so expensive.
It is expensive. Graham did Boy Scouts for 6 years. Man.
Yeah, my brother did it too. He was a Weeblo.
A what?
What's that?
A Weeblo?
Well, he was a Cub, and then he was in Boy Scouts for a little bit. He started
like Boy Scouts. I guess when you get it, I guess with Boy Scouts, and I don't know the whole.
Oh, that's right. It goes to Eagle.
I don't know the whole command tree of the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
But I think there is kind of like a young teen version of it, which is kind of like the Weeblos, which I think is like the special forces of the Boy Scouts.
And they gave him that name?
It is a very odd name.
Why is that odd?
Well, because it sounds like a Weeble.
No, Weeble.
Weeble. You're a Weeble. I would have thought that would like be you'd go Weeble, then Cub Scout, then Boy Scout.
It's Weeblo.
Yeah, Weeblo.
Isn't it like a native Native American Indian term?
I think if I Googled it, I could probably figure it out. Yeah. But I think it was some sort of offshoot of the Boy Scouts, which was like the elite special forces of the freaking. I think so. I can't remember. I just know
the like Green Berets.
And they are. They're like the Rangers of the freaking of the Boy Scouts. I don't know.
Well, I do know that there's Eagle Scouts, so I think that's the highest you can go.
Yeah.
3 girls were in the news recently. They were the first to receive Eagle Scouts in the Boy Scouts.
Oh, really?
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, Graham, he really loved it, and it was actually really fun. Like, I actually enjoyed doing Cub Scouts and then Boy Scouts with him. It was good. He also learned, like, he went camping. They did all kinds of stuff, fishing. We used to go on trips all the time, and he learned quite a bit of cool stuff.
So
I still have his little handkerchief and all that stuff. Yeah.
A Weeblo rank is earned by completing 6 adventures as described below. I'm not going to describe all of them.
Yeah.
But apparently you must go through some rigorous
special training.
Special forces training. And then you get your Weeblo badge.
It's like Survivor. They drop you off somewhere.
Well, they probably do probably all kinds of survival badge, and then doing a good deed in society, citizen, helping a lady cross the road, types.
Like a little boy in Up.
Yeah.
I would thought that name would be designated more to the Scout Masters, than.
Why do you do that?
It was a matter of time.
I was trying to avoid it because of the name, but
I know.
He just had to say it.
Terrible.
Did you get that out?
But Kevin? I actually liked the Boy Scouts for Graham. It was good. I never wanted to be a dead mother, though. I was like, no, not happening. I would go to the thing, but I would never get involved. Stop it, Kerr.
Kevin's trying to figure out if it's a rank or a statement.
Yeah.
Weeblo. Alrighty then.
So since we're on the topic of food, I need to know if Jen does something that Jessica does and she never realizes she does it until I point it out. Does Jen have a happy when she's got food? Because Jessica, whenever whatever her favorite food is, she hums. She'll be like, She does like this little
I
dance.
don't do it. She says I do it, but I don't.
I'll call her. I go, "You're humming." She's like, "Oh, I am." She's always happy. She's like,
You do have something going on.
When I eat food
never
or when
know.
she's cooking?
No. When she's eating or cooking.
Eating.
Eating. Oh, it's always eating.
I
Yeah,
don't think
just
so.
No,
when
but
I'm
you,
eating,
you
when
do
I'm
have
cooking.
this. You do have a thing.
Yes.
You do have this thing. Whenever she's done cooking or buys something, we'll sit down to eat, and it's every time.
It is.
And
especially if it's really good.
if it's really good, you do it every time.
I do.
And it'll be like, "Oh man, get ready to eat." She's like, "I made pierogies," and then I can't even do it. It's freaking hilarious. You have to be there. She's like, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and she like rattles off
I explain
every
the recipe.
single ingredient in the recipe. And if I interrupt her in the middle of it, she'll be like, garlic, and then I'll say something. She'll go, and I could literally ask her the most important question, and she'll go, peppers. Like just pick up right where she left off.
Because it's usually very involved meals because I do love to cook. So when we're sitting down and Kerr will say, "Wow, this is really good," I'll be like, and then I give the recipe
We don't even
of
need to say
everything what's in it.
You're like, this is
If
this
it
is
sucks,
pork.
then I really pissy at the table. I really
she's
get
like,
very difficult
pork.
if I don't like how it turns
I
out.
seasoned it with Lars spicy seasoned
Yep.
salt, onions, mushrooms, garlic, shallots. I seared it on each side, put it in the oven, 450 for 30 minutes. Onions, peppers, and I'm like...
It's like my own little cooking show.
Yeah, I uncovered it, and then I rebaked for an extra 8 minutes. You know,
it's every single ingredient and every single step.
Oh my God.
And if she's interrupted in between...
That's intense, Jen.
She freezes. Because she has to do this when she does it, and then she freezes. And then...
Because I'm not just throwing hot
peppers,
dogs in boiling water.
Picks right up
like
where she left off.
That's disgusting, too. Hot dogs
Why?
in boiling water.
How do you
See,
think
I love fried.
They're steamed.
I like them steamed, but those are okay. In New Jersey, though,
they're boiled.
Besides boiled, they fry them. Like
Yeah,
if you've
they
ever
do
been
fry
to
'em.
Rutt's Hut in Clifton or Hot Grill, they're deep fried and
Really?
they're called
Like a funnel
splitters.
cake.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
like a funnel cake.
they're freaking
crispy, but
delicious.
so
Yeah,
You
so
put-
they
inside.
snap when you bite into them.
They put powdered sugar on them?
No,
No,
No, but
that would be gross.
So okay, so hot dog. Okay, so around the room, what is your condiment? Because Chicagoans, they have some weird.
You can't ask that. Knowing
I don't even know why Chicago people even put hot dogs on the bun.
I don't know why they put like a whole salad on top of it.
Yeah, they
Never
put like
ask. Never. I'll tell you what. In Chicago, I learned one thing: ketchup only goes on a hot dog.
That's disgusting.
Like-
Ketchup shouldn't be anywhere near a hot dog.
But actually, we went into a hot dog shop. Actually, or is it the other way around? It doesn't go on a hot dog
I hope
because
not.
we went in there with Clary, and we were like in one of the world famous hot dog places, and she's like, "Where's the ketchup?" And it was like you could hear a fucking pin drop.
Yeah, it shouldn't be anywhere near it.
Like everybody just like stopped and looked at us, and Tom, our manager's like, they don't use ketchup around here."
So what is your hot dog, Kerr? What is your perfect hot dog? You're making a hot dog.
My perfect wiener. I like mustard and relish on a hot dog. I do like chili on it as well. But I like my perfect hot dog is I do like that cold relish and I do like mustard on it. I do. I mean, I like a lot of shit on a hot dog. I do. I'll take it with chili, but you give me one with really good relish and really good mustard on it, I'm good to go.
Yeah, see, I'm ketchup, mustard, relish, and onions, or I'm gonna have a chili dog. But yeah, ketchup, mustard, relish, and onions. That's
What
has to
about
go
you,
on a hot
Jen?
dog.
I'm the same way. Kev,
I'm just straight
with
up
chili.
usually spicy mustard, or we have German mustard, something with like a little bit more
More spice to it.
kick.
Yeah.
But I love a natural casing hot dog that's fried or grilled. You can do it so that when you bite into it, it's snapped.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
The snappy hot dog.
Fucking every time we eat
hates 'em.
hot dog, she's like,
Love 'em.
She's like, oh, can't you just taste that snap?
The snap.
The snap.
You can hear it. It's like
She's
when
like,
you-
isn't that snap perfect? I'm like,
it's like when you have a slice of pizza back home and you fold it and you hear the snap of it, and you know it's a good crust.
Oh yeah, it's a crust. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hot dog. She likes the snap of a hot dog, and I go, "You snap of a hot dog." Every time I get the
so
snap
I buy very specific
of the hot dog.
I don't
it's
just buy
like
anything.
Freaking rubber. It's like I'm sitting there pulling the freaking casing out and throwing it out.
I can buy the 99-cent shit hot dogs for everyone else to eat. Mine are very pricey.
I got to hear about the snap all through the meal.
Yeah. Now Jessica did get me, which I'd never had, a Nathan's hot dog before we met.
Yeah.
So we only, and I love, so I can't go back. I mean, Nathan's makes great.
Nathan's are good. They have great French fries too.
Been doing Nathan's up in Scranton.
They have them all over New Jersey, and their fries. They have a cheese sauce to go on the fries that are awesome.
They sell them frozen?
They sell the frozen fries and the onion rings.
Their onion rings are good.
Yeah. I'll have to get those sometimes. Yep. Now, Jess, what about your hot dog?
Well, onion, cheese, chili. That's about it. Or plain.
No condiment?
I don't eat ketchup or mustard at all.
No, she doesn't.
Why?
Ever. It's disgusting.
Like, what's wrong with...
I don't know. I can't.
What happened in your childhood that made you go against it?
Now. I mean, nothing. I don't know. I just don't. I've never liked the way it tastes, and I want to. I've tried it over the years.
What about on a burger?
Oh God, no. Hell no. No ketchup at all.
My dad puts ketchup on bologna sandwiches.
Oh,
well,
God,
that's disgusting.
No. Well, I don't eat bologna.
That's just
that's really gross.
I don't know. As a kid, it wasn't like we were forced to put ketchup and mustard on anything. I just don't like it at all. Like,
have you tried different mustards?
Because mustard I could tolerate. Like, I could put that in potato salad, and I've had it on other things before, but no, I'm gonna pass.
Like,
I'll have mayo on stuff. Like, I like mayo.
Like kibasi with mustard is excellent.
No.
Oh my God, it's so good to dip.
That's not how I don't eat stuff like that. Like, sausage and stuff has to be peppers, onions, like cooked Italian way, like either in gravy or in its own juices on a bun. No mustard.
My mom put mayonnaise on hot dogs.
Oh my God, that's gross.
I actually want to try that.
That's
because
disgusting.
I like mayonnaise.
Horrible.
Oh
my God.
Well, but I do that with tomato sandwiches. I do mayo.
That's what my mom.
That's a Jersey thing. Is tomato.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is disgusting.
No, it's
either Miracle Whip or it's nothing.
I grew up on Miracle Whip. That's all we had in the house. I never had mayonnaise until my mom is. I never had mayonnaise until after college. Yeah. Always had Miracle Whip, and I didn't understand what the difference was.
Miracle Whip's
That's because
I used to have Velveeta sandwiches with Miracle Whip on it.
Yeah, that's all I ate as a kid.
What's wrong with
that's all I ate as a kid is Velveeta sandwiches with Miracle Whip.
Exactly,
oh
I love it. I can eat it this
and maybe
day.
like a half an inch of Miracle Whip. Oh, it would be a lot of Miracle Whip.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. Nope, I will never.
Velveeta cheese and Miracle Whip.
Yes,
that is the best.
Yes, ask Mom. Next time I talk to her, I'm going to say, hey, she has it in the house. And you have to buy the block. We even had the cheese slicer for our block of Velveeta.
Stop. It's freaking gross. Miracle Whip's like taking mayonnaise and putting sugar in. Ugh.
That's all Mom had in the house.
Oh my God.
She only had Miracle Whip, and still to this day, that's all she has in the fridge.
They got
Sean.
No, I will not ask Sean. I don't want to ever talk about it ever again.
Velveeta is. I want one now.
I want one right now.
Oh my God, I'd vomit.
I'd vomit
delicious. Like the wet cat food I can smell in the morning.
And if we had fresh like Wonder Bread, it just the combination. Mom would get Wonder Bread, but I would have to eat it fresh so it would make it squishy.
Yeah, we always had white bread growing up, and then I only eat whole wheat bread now. I think it's just more flavorful.
We eat a lot of whole wheat.
But if I was to have a cheese and Miracle Whip sandwich, I would want it on Wonder Bread.
That just
great.
Sounds like.
I love it. I haven't had one in ages. I'm buying some tomorrow. We're gonna
I'm
going to have you try it.
No, I will not.
No.
Yes,
I will never.
That's his mushroom right there.
Miracle Whip is disgusting.
No, it's delicious.
I can eat
the
cheese
tang
sandwiches.
with the cheese.
I can do that stuff, but you put Miracle Whip cheese on Wonder Bread.
Yep, I'm buying it tomorrow.
Well, I'm not eating Velveeta cheese. Period.
Like, I love Velveeta.
Disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Well, I use it with. I make a mac and cheese that's awesome with like fried cheeses in it. Helps make it
bread,
creamy.
Not happy.
So good
with Miracle Whip.
Yeah, delicious.
Delicious.
It is.
If you make that, tomorrow, I will not be around.
You have to try it.
I will not.
You're always the one that says, try it once, see if you like it. You tell the kids that all the time, so you have to.
I tell the
at
kids
least take
that I'm a
bite.
live hypocrite.
Yeah.
You have to take a bite.
I'm an adult. Yeah.
I'm saying no. I refuse to.
I think you'll try it. I think
No, you don't get to tell anybody they get to try stuff because you're always like, not doing it.
Yeah.
Won't do it. I tried to get you to eat something the other day and you were like, no.
What was it?
I don't say no to much when it comes to
I've
your
never
food,
seen
to your
you
cooking.
say no to it.
I will always try something. I'm freaking large. Obviously, I don't say no, but I don't like Miracle Whip, and Miracle Whip on a cheese sandwich just sounds so.
It's Velveeta.
Gross.
It's different. It's
No.
not. It's completely
I don't
different.
give a shit if I don't care. It's horrible.
That's shit
So
that you
good.
put on nachos at like the roller
No.
rink and like bowling alleys. That's what Velveeta is.
That's like
It's
the
just
cheese whiz they put on Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
That literally
Yeah,
it is a molecule away from plastic.
plastic. Yes. Oh, no.
Delicious, sweet, delicious
It
plastic.
is.
It is.
Freaking
It's like
great.
one or two It's so. It's
Oh my
like the
gosh.
freaking
It's
sister of
salty.
plastic.
I haven't thought of a
Oh my God,
Velveeta
it's so
sandwich in
salty.
ages.
Yeah.
That is some salty
Dinner
ass.
tomorrow.
Jen, we're gonna make that.
Yeah.
So when Jess
Kevin's
is home,
gonna pair a cigar with a Velveeta Miracle Whip sandwich tomorrow and do a TikTok video.
Yeah, and if they're a sponsor, they'll
Thank God
drop
I
them in a
closed
heartbeat. That's
Maybe
horrible.
there's an OnlyFans
Whatever you
page for
want.
Velveeta Miracle Whip
Yeah,
cheese
yeah.
fans.
So is there any food because that one of you is not allowed to make? Because in our house, like I said, if
Velveeta
Jessica's-
freaking sandwiches with
Yeah,
freaking
in
Miracle
our
Whip
house, like I
just
said,
made the
if-
list.
If Jessica's in the house, I'm not allowed to even crack a can of tuna.
I don't like it.
I'm not allowed to crack a can of
Tuna fish. That's also.
Really?
It's just tuna fish is disgusting.
And
It smells disgusting.
And
it
I don't
tastes
eat
disgusting,
tuna fish sandwiches. I like tuna croquettes.
And it smells even worse when he.
Onions, cheese,
that.
breaded,
It's
fried.
fucking awful.
Like it's basically it's a tuna
Yeah.
crab cake.
Listen,
Crab
it's,
cake.
Yeah.
it smells crabby. That's right. Yeah.
My
smells
stepmom
like
makes salmon
die.
makes salmon croquettes.
I
like
don't
that,
think
too.
there's anything in our house that.
Yes,
What can.
there is something. You're pickier than I am, just by
But-
mass
But
alone.
what would I not have in the house because it smells that
You won't
bad?
not have it in the house, but you always complain whenever I break open the curry.
True. I am not. I will try different foods if just to try it, but I do not like curry, the spice.
I've never-
and the
never
reason
had
why
curry.
is when I went to college in Boston and moved out of the dorm into
I know there's a
apartment
story
building.
to this. Why you don't like
There
curry.
is. This is exactly, and my brother and dad could back it up. The apartment building that I lived in with my roommates was predominant Indian. So the curry permeated everything. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
in
it
our
does. It's
clothing.
very strong.
It was in our furniture. It was in everything. So
Yeah.
you just smelled of it
I'd be
all
in
the
heaven.
time.
I
It
don't
was
know, I like the
My
horrible.
smell
pillow
of
smelled
this,
like curry at night.
Oh
I love
no!
it.
And that's
Now,
what
Kerr,
started it.
I
I
like it.
I
What-
can't
what-
even stand the smell of it.
What is
I'll
because
cook with
I've
it,
never
though.
had it. What is curry? What is the what is the
spice of it?
no like the curry? Like what are they making? Because they said like at the Ray they have curry dishes. What is?
Yeah, it's a spice.
It's a spice.
It's a spice. There's red curry. There's green curry.
Yeah.
There's yellow curry, and it depends.
it looks like so when I've seen it
just mixing
served.
it
It's
in
a
their
blend of
dishes.
spices. It's a blend of
Okay, because it
spices.
looks like
It's very-
rice or pudding
No,
or
No.
it's the dish. What if they're making
Oh.
rice
Yeah.
or something else? They're mixing that spice in that dish.
Okay, I thought curry was the substance.
No.
So
No.
what's the substance they're mixing in?
It does.
Well,
It
it could be
depends. Now,
anything.
what happens with curry? Well, a lot of curry dishes. Now, there's green curry, there's red curry, there's yellow curry,
I love red
right?
curry.
And curry, most of the time, they mix with coconut milk whenever they do a dish, which is fantastic. And then a lot of places with curry with coconut milk, then they'll like cook in chicken or whatever whatever protein you want, vegetables, and then they serve it with rice or noodles or whatever. But it's curry is just it's just a combination of spices, obviously.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Now,
very
it can
strong.
be overpowering. It depends. Like
No.
for me, I've had it where it's been made somewhat overpowering, and I'm like, that's a little too much curry. But I like Indian food.
Okay.
Well,
love
I'll
Indian
even
food.
add it
I've
like into his
denied
chicken
Indian
salad, and like he'll have it if I
I'll put it
we
in
have chicken salad and kind of make it curry chicken salad. I'll have it. It's in our pantry.
In a baked potato?
I do not
I
like.
bet that's really
If you take a
Smell
baked
is just
potato
too-
and you
too
take
much.
chicken salad and you have curry chicken salad and you stuff it with baked potato with it, that coolness and in the heat,
I want that.
it is fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I always thought it was like a rice pilaf. I thought
No.
curry was the dish.
No,
So
it's the
curry
spice
is just the
itself.
spice. Okay.
Now the Indian spice we had on the wings in Nashville was awesome. What was that?
Oh God,
I can't think
I
of
have
what
to think about that one.
It starts with like a T or something.
Yeah, there's a couple of different
So there are Indian spices.
Indian
I do
spices,
like.
but like when it comes to food, we don't eat Thai food because I like Thai food.
I don't
I
care for
love
the
Thai
peanut
food.
sauce.
She doesn't like
You
Thai
don't have
food.
to have
Yeah.
that. They make it.
I tried to explain that to her, but she didn't listen
But
to me.
most of the menu has it on there, so I'm not a big fan
Curry,
of it.
we don't have Indian food.
No.
Curry.
Man, I feel like you live with Kevin, Kerr.
Without the beard, thank God.
I'm the female Kevin.
But I mean, it's like literally. I compromised one time. I'm like, listen, I want Thai food. I'm dying
I
for
feel
Thai
bad.
food.
It was a
And she's
poor
like,
choice.
the Red Bowl has Thai food. I'm
It
like,
said
okay,
Thai.
I want chicken basil Thai food because the basil Thai is so phenomenal with the noodles. What they served me
Was not.
a traditional
Yeah.
chicken
I felt bad.
basil Thai. And I was like, thanks for the Chinese food.
Yeah.
We have a place here that is, it's all like Thai restaurant. It's actually owned. They're from Thailand.
We have
And
a
it's
couple here.
amazing, and it's called Noise, Noise, NOS.
Mm-hmm.
It's friggin' amazing. It's so good. I can't get Kevin to go there.
Yeah,
He won't
I
eat.
need to stop. There's 2 on the way home from work. Their hours are a little weird, so I just
Yes, so is
and
this one.
I felt horrible that night because it said, Thai chili basil or whatever the name of it was. So I thought, well, at least he can have his dish. And then I had like udon noodles. I
nothing.
wanted to go more Japanese, so I had udon noodles with chicken.
Do you like Korean food?
I do.
We have Korean food.
We
I
have a
love
place called
Korean
Bulgogi here that's fantastic.
I want to
It's on the
get
other
Kevin to try Korean food.
I'm surprised he doesn't like it. It's just really good barbecue.
I don't think he's ever tried it. Like that's what I'm saying. I would
We
like
just can't
to
tell him
try.
what it is.
Oh, it's
Was it Vindaloo?
Vindaloo. That's what we
The
had.
Vindaloo sauce.
Oh my God,
spice
we
they
had
put on these
wings with Vindaloo on it. Wow, it was excellent. I
And
really
it was,
liked that.
when I was eating it, I was like, she's not gonna like these. She's like, oh, these are pretty good. And
I
was
really
like,
liked them.
All right, then, get the
I should have
Vindaloo.
gotten them. I ended up. I had popcorn shrimp that was really good. Nashville hot popcorn shrimp.
But yeah, Indian food.
I do.
When
like
I lived
it.
in Harrisburg, up in Pennsylvania, and I was working at pharmaceuticals, I worked a lot in neuroscience. So we had a lot of psychiatrists that we used to go out to lunch with and do dinners with, and a lot of our doctors were Indian. So we always would go to an Indian restaurant, and oh my God, fantastic food! I took my dad to the restaurant one time for their buffet, and he never went back, and he cursed me for like a week afterwards.
I like Mediterranean food too. I do
I do too.
the different ethnicities we like
Now-
to
now
try.
what is-
it's just you
what
have
is-
limitations living here with where you're going to go and get it.
Well,
It's not
that's
like
just
up north.
it. Like that's how I feel like living here. Unless I'm like we're in Orlando or Miami area, we're not getting so much culture, that we should be. Because I'm not like in New Jersey, like you can go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
and get any.
We went to
types
an
of foods.
amazing Portuguese
Oh my
place
God,
back
that place
home
is-
by my mom's house.
Portuguese
I
food,
love
I grew up
Portuguese
eating.
food.
What
I
is
love
what
it.
is Portuguese food? Like, what is the main staple of Portuguese
Well, it's
food?
kinda
Seafood
like-
and meat, but
Yeah,
it's just the way they
seafood.
cook it. I love
was-
Spanish food, but Portuguese food.
It was
Oh my God,
incredible.
it
this
was-
What is like? Paint me a picture here. Like how are they cooking it, or what is?
Well, so they also do like really good. I call them like pork egg rolls, which are not egg rolls though; they're called something else. They do like a lot of pork type stuff and chicken. Like a lot of this stuff is like sauces, like a soupy
They have
sauce.
a great brown sauce with
Yeah,
like I'll get a veal dish and it just has
Yeah.
just such a nice smooth brown sauce, and I love
It's
that
all
they
the
do
spices,
the thin
Kev.
sliced potatoes where they're just slightly crispy but with the gravy on it. The flavors are just off the hook. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Food, like people like
and the crispy
even like
bottom rice,
like even like Puerto Rican, Cuban, like all that stuff. Like all kind of have similarities too, because but it's the spices that kind of set things
Portuguese
apart.
is probably one of my favorites.
Portuguese is really good.
I can't do veal. I just feel bad. I feel bad.
That was my favorite
oh my
dish
God,
as
when
a kid.
same
Parmesan.
When it's tender and made right, it's just butter in your mouth.
That little baby calf, thank God.
Well, see,
thank God he was in a box and all super tender for me.
I know, don't let him walk around too much.
No, I don't want that muscle built up.
As an adult now, I can't eat deer.
What?
Really?
I feel bad.
I eat deer.
So can you eat deer jerky? You like jerky?
I can't eat deer anymore.
Deer's fantastic.
Really?
Anymore?
I haven't been able to eat deer in like 4 or 5 years.
Why?
Did you watch Bambi? Or
no, it's and I used to eat. My grandfather used to send us down deer sausage.
Yeah.
Something happened, and I don't know what it is. I just feel guilty.
I don't know.
Well, just think about the overpopulation. When you're eating deer, the deer overpopulation is so bad that you have to like thin out the population.
Not even that. Like growing up, that was what got us through the winter. Yes, that's what got us through the winter. Growing up.
My dad used to hunt. We would have
I don't know what I can't eat deer. I just have this.
I mean, I can understand. Guilt. Like now, it's like. We're not hunting, like we're not in that position. But when I was a kid, like that's all we ate.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Just I can't do it.
We had wild boar last year. A former coworker hunts a lot in South Carolina. I have to say that was really good.
Ugly, the deer's too cute.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with ugly animal. I'll eat the asshole out of an ugly animal, but it's
that's disgusting.
That's on OnlyFans as well.
But you don't. Yeah, it's exactly. I think that's
so gross.
Well, Jess, you said about Jersey. When you live in the South, you don't get the benefit of having a lot of ethnic food.
Yeah, absolutely.
I worked in Virginia for 7 months, and outside of DC, and I got to tell you, I had some of the best Chinese food up there. I had Ethiopian food for the first time.
Now I've never had that. What's that?
I don't know.
Ethiopian food.
Very small portions.
No.
Kevin.
There's not a lot on the plate.
Ethiopian food.
My mom, they're starving people in Ethiopia. You better eat all your food.
Well, what you got to do is you order your Ethiopian food, and you got to wait for NATO to drop the food, ship it. No, I mean, I joke around, but I called on these doctors that were Ethiopian, and they ordered food, and I'm like, I never had it. He goes, don't worry, we'll order something for you. I'm like, okay. Some of the best flavors I've ever had. And then I went back to the restaurant to get Ethiopian coffee, and it was like phenomenal.
I've seen how they do that.
However,
that's neat.
I did call Jennifer later that evening, and I said, thank God I'm in a hotel room right now.
By himself.
By myself. Because the smell,
with a balcony,
it killed me. The spices in Ethiopian food, he was explaining to me the spices. It's like just like curry. It's just a combination of spices. It was so different. I can't really explain it.
Your stomach went.
The evacuation process was quite swift.
I mean, when you say spices, do you mean spicy as in hot spice, or just spices in general?
It was spicy and spices, but it wasn't like that disgusting, like burn your mouth hot. It had a lot of heat to it, but it had so much flavor. And it was this, chicken and all these different, veggies and stuff. And it was over rice. And then there's a boiled egg in the middle.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of Portuguese, too. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of.
And then they have this bread that they make, this special bread that they make, and that's how you eat it.
Yes,
you don't eat. You don't eat Ethiopian
me of
food.
bread, but it's different.
It's very spongy. It's very spongy, and you don't eat with a fork. You eat with this bread, and you pick up the rice and the meat and the sauce, and you scoop it up. And that's what you eat.
That's what reminds me of like
everything is
Greek
done with your hands,
like that.
And it was so freaking good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was like, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna use a spoon real quick because I want to get all this in here." And I ate everything. It was so freaking good, but it did tear my stomach up. But it was phenomenal.
See, I would love to actually just like try something from all these different places, like all these different countries. I would try. So not everything, because there's certain things I will not try, like fish heads. Like I will not fucking eat a fish head.
I'll tell you what,
I'm not doing it.
The only place I ever went into where I was really kind of like, this is just not for me. But then I tried elsewhere. I went into a Vietnamese restaurant in Harrisburg, and I ordered a soup, and it came with like a fish in it, and the head was sticking out, And I was just like, man, I don't know about this. And I tasted it. It was just not good at all.
Yeah, but you didn't take a bite of the fish, right?
No, but the flavors and everything else, it was just too much. But I went to other a lot of Vietnamese places that do lots of noodle bowls. Up in DC that were really, really good. I mean, just fantastic.
Yeah, there's a couple good places in New York that do the noodles and stuff.
And like on the fish head, a chef Carl, he used to make oxtail soup, and then he'd get these fresh oxtails, and it just stunk.
Yeah.
I've had oxtail. It was really good. I went to an all-you-can-eat. It was I think it was outside of Baltimore. It was Himalayan, and
Himalayan what?
Himalayan food.
Oh, okay.
And it was, because of the proximity, it was like this fusion of Indian and Thai food.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
But that's a lot. Indian and Thai food are kind of mixed in with
similar.
A lot of but different cultures all over the world, though, because of the spices.
Right.
Like when they were on their travels and people would go through, they'd bring this stuff. So there's like a mix of this.
There is a fusion.
Of that food already, those spices in a lot of food dishes from all over the place, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because I'll admit, like growing up here in Florida, we Florida food, burgers, hot dogs, steaks, so we didn't have a lot of. So I've never had Himalayan. I've never had a lot of these other foods that I would love to try. Like I said, in the restaurant we worked at, the owner was Greek. So a lot of stinky Greek food,
falafels and gyros.
I love Greek food.
I
wasn't a big fan because it smelled.
But where you guys are, do you have I gotta use Jennifer went with us, a Nicaraguan steakhouse.
Yeah,
no.
It was
unbelievably like.
Oh no,
Miami, but not here.
Apparently, Nicaragua has some of the best beef.
It was. I have to say, is probably one of the best meals.
Some of the best food. I mean, the best tender, melt in your mouth beef.
It was crazy
fantastic.
Good.
Where's that place that your sister went to that time where they cut the meat?
That was a Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
So it's kind
We've
of
done
like,
that. We have a Brazilian place here, and it's good, but it's not this. You want to go to a Nicaraguan steakhouse.
It's like.
It's really expensive.
It is very expensive, yeah.
Yeah, because there's one right next to Jeff's Davidoff of Geneva store in Tampa. So like right next door, and I forget what it's Brazilian something is the name of the place. And
never noticed.
Yeah, super expensive. There's always a line of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches out front. Super expensive.
I know. For your birthday that one year, me, you, and Amber and Bobby went and ate at that steak place.
No, it was it was the
in Sarasota.
Yeah, where you cook your food over the
no.
Yeah.
Oh, like
that was my birthday.
The
I
melting
said
pot
your
or whatever
birthday.
it's called.
Yeah, the melting pot. But that's where we went. But for your birthday, that place your Kira worked at.
Oh yeah, that was a.
First off, I didn't order any meat because there's no prices on this menu.
It's market price.
Yeah,
right.
So I didn't order. I think I had like shrimp or something in a salad, and they all got this meat, and they were like, it wasn't that great, and I was like.
Then the $300, $400 bill shows
like
up.
Like a $20 meal.
And it was one of these like epic steak places,
And they all said that it wasn't that great.
It was just okay.
We've been to places that you were talking about it, and back. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but up in when I lived in Reading, there was two places I'd gone to. The first place was fantastic, because you go in and you pick out your meat, your steak. You can pick wings, clams, whatever you want, and they have like a meat counter, like at the butcher, and then they give it to you, and they have pits, pits, and you go out and you actually grill your own food.
Oh, that's
really?
Awesome.
Yeah,
and there's one right there. If I'm going to go out to dinner, though, I grill here. I don't want to have to grill my own food
it's like the best
at a
place,
restaurant.
To sound like a big sexist jerk here, but and I had somebody tell us before, because there was one in Pittsburgh. When you go to it, it's like all the guys are hanging out, because it's like grilling. You're hanging out, you're drinking a beer, your steak's down there. They got sauces, they got spices, everything around it you can put on your steak. But you could cook whatever you want. They have wings.
Well, that's
clams,
awesome.
Everything.
That's like going camping. Camping food
it was
is the
fantastic. I loved it.
I would want to be out in the woods, though, if I'm camping with a cabin doing this, not in a restaurant.
And I don't want to be paying some guy to cook my own food.
It'd have to be a cabin.
Well, hold on.
I'm not a camper.
You saying camping? I know.
Camping is a cabin.
Camping,
I won't do tents. If we go on some sort of wilderness trip, there has to be running water, an indoor bathroom,
well, most
a cabin.
campsites do, unless you're doing
won't do
real
a campsite
archaic.
unless we have a cabin.
Right.
If it's not a 3-star hotel, that's camping to me.
I agree.
I've
I'm
told
with
her,
you
I
on
was
that
like,
one too,
I was like,
Kevin.
well, I said,
We're on the same page again.
I've done the campsites before, and they do that. I said, but I've actually hiked up the Appalachian Trail, and I've camped. Like,
there's nothing there.
You tie your food up in a tree so the bears don't freaking get you.
I'm good.
And she's
we
like,
always had a rope and a tarp with our tent just so we could put the tarp up because it's gonna rain. It's always
roughing
is
really being in a cabin.
Got to put the food up in a tree,
Yeah.
away from your campsite in case the bears come by. Campsites are a little bit different because you pull in your little section. Here's section 23, and it's kind of like camping. It's like camping in your backyard, really.
Yeah, basically.
But it's pretty cool. But yeah, I've gone real camping up in and.
My brother loves it. No, thank you. Not
Well,
for me.
he doesn't camp. He's got a camper.
No,
camping.
he does camp. That was before he got his RV. That's different.
That's
or his
glamping.
camper.
Glamping.
He used to go tent actual camping and fishing because he would do his own little solo fishing excursions.
Yeah, if you.
God,
but
Wyatt
I need to
was
be
like
in a cabin.
A month old, and we'd go arcade camping. I remember he was a month old, packed all the kids up, had playpen and all that stuff in the tent with the kids in there.
I
Graham
hate
had
bugs.
his own little
I don't
pup
need
tent.
them
Dog had
purposely
his pup
in the
tent.
tent. Anything rustling
awesome.
outside. We had balloons popping left and right between yesterday and today, and I was like a cat on a freaking, ceiling with. I can't even imagine being in a
more
tent.
Peacefully, like I don't know, like
I love the sounds of it. I just want to be in a cabin.
I don't sleep peacefully knowing that I could die at any second.
I don't feel that way. Most of the time, most animals are not going to come near you. It's only if you're irresponsible with your food.
There's that one animal that's going to murder you.
It's if you're irresponsible with your food and your camp setup and all that stuff.
Animals are dicks. Like I said, they don't care.
And when you go, when you're on a trail and you're looking for a campsite, you're not going to go and you're not going to pick the campsite that clearly there's bear shit right there or any kind of like.
You gotta look for tracks and
rub
them
off.
See, that's not fun. Why am I gonna look for that stuff? I just want to open a door and go inside.
Kerr and I are going to be the only survivors.
So Jess and Kerr can go in a tent somewhere, and we'll be in the cabin in case you need anything. Call us with an emergency.
Zombies.
Zombies are
I'll be cooking dinner on an actual stove in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
we'll be in a tent. We're going to tie you and Kevin a tree to attract the zombies.
Yeah, right? And we'll be like, we're good.
But
you send smoke signals if you have problems out there. We'll wave to you through the window.
The issue with when you're on the Appalachian Trail, though, was that they do have like a trail that people will follow, and they even have like these little mailboxes and people write letters and kind of. But you got to watch because they do get some creepers that do hike that trail, and they do have rest cabins. And you can't, like, a lot of people won't stay in those cabins because of freaking weirdos on the trail.
No, it wouldn't be a rest cabin. You go online and do an Airbnb.
There's no Airbnb in the middle of the fucking mountains.
Well, but
I guarantee I could find an Airbnb cabin on the Appalachian Trail.
Kevin's gonna get out his satellite phone and
Kevin will hike like 10 miles and then call an Uber when he gets to the road. And go to the Airbnb because you'd have to do that because sometimes you do cross over the road. Yeah. Because where we went in was up in Schuylkill Haven. We pulled in, we hiked into the mountain probably like 5-6 miles, and then we found a spot, a clearing. There was no freaking animal droppings, nothing like that, and we made our camp spot.
No, I'm good.
I've had so many great experiences camping, like just so many fun ones.
Yeah, I don't want to do
so great.
And one thing I've always said, like where we're gonna stay, where we're gonna if we ever buy a second home or whatever. What is one thing I never want to be away from? I always say I never want to be more than 20 minutes from nachos. Any time in my life, if I want nachos, 20 minutes.
So you need a 7-Eleven.
There must be nachos within 20 minutes of anywhere.
You can make your own goddamn nachos.
Yeah, I can make nachos.
Yeah, anybody can make nachos, but when you want nachos right away, you don't want to make nachos.
So what kind of nachos? Can it be gas station nachos, or does it need to be like a restaurant or a supermarket?
No, I would prefer to make my own, but yeah, 7-Eleven's got some pretty damn good nacho cheese sauce.
Or like QT. Do you have QTs down there? The gas station.
I've seen them, but I don't think like near.
They're like a Sheetz, Sphinx.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
I don't even know what that is.
Gas station chains.
Big, like the Flying J and all those other
pilots.
different types of pilots.
I don't want to light up another one. Just smoke yours.
But yes, you guys, camping is that's the real camp.
No, I'm all for cabins. I would love to do like different board games and kind of.
You can do that in a tent, but because you can still set up like a little.
I have a bad back too. I'm not sleeping on the ground.
They make blow-up ones.
No, they suck. I need to be in like a real bed in a mattress.
We took the kids to a KOA, and we found one up right on the border, North South Carolina. KOA.
It was up in TR.
They have some good sites.
And we pulled in, and you drive down through, and they have little cabins.
Yeah, it was cute.
And and it was right by a little creek, or crick if you're from where I'm from. And then we went in, and I'm like, "This is air conditioning. It's got a TV. It's got a loft. It's got a bed."
Tiny.
And then it was really small.
Tiny.
But then you go outside, you have your little fire pit that you can make your little campfire. So we did the whole thing. We do mountain pies.
I was on call that weekend.
The whole 9 yards. In this little cabin, which kind of made them feel outdoorsy, but not.
I think they wore gloves to play in the mud or something or touch bugs. Like Joe is he was going through therapy still with his leukemia. So, I instilled the whole germaphobe thing on him. So I think he wanted gloves for the dirt. I remember
it was going in the water by the creek. It was like, guys, just go freaking get dirty. Go get wet.
The kids go camping with my parents. Well, they have a camper, but they go to all these places like state parks, national parks. Sometimes they go where it's really archaic. There's no, like hookup, whatever. And the kids love it. They absolutely love it. My parents bring like their bikes. They go on trails. They go walking. They go hiking, canoeing, all that stuff. Yeah. So the kids have been camping since they were born, but my parents still take them.
They love it so much they can't wait to get home and get on their tablets.
Yeah. So
that's the problem is taking the electronics from them is definitely
but you're not
air kids.
Why, how
fresh
do you
air
even
kids.
have a say in anything when you wouldn't even go and do any of that stuff ever?
We stayed with your parents once in their motorhome.
No, that was at Disney when we went up there for Dominic's 5th birthday. Yeah, we spent the night.
Yeah, we spent that one night in the motorhome, and it was horrible.
Because there were so many people there. We should have just left and drove home. We shouldn't even have tried to stay over. Yeah. Yeah, and you didn't say it was horrible.
So when we do our road trip, it will obviously be interesting if there's a camping part because we'll be split on that decision. Kevin and I will be in either a hotel or a cabin somewhere while Jess and Kerr want to go roughing somewhere.
We could stay in a cabin. I'd rather stay in a cabin than a hotel.
I like cabins because you have the fireplace and the whole rustic. I will not do a tent.
I will guarantee you this, Jen.
I don't really want to do a tent now, I'm older, but I would do it.
I was just about to say, I said, we'll find a place that has a cabin, and then they'll have like tents out front and everything else.
We'll make them stay outside.
That's how much you don't know about camping. You don't even know what you're saying. Don't say shit that you don't know anything about. There's not a cabin in like tents. It's not how that works.
Yeah, we'll find a place that has cabin and tents, and we'll see how long you and Kerr stay outside in your tent.
Oh my god!
Jen and I wake up at 2 a.m. Like, why are you guys in here?
Where did they come from?
Yeah, you have your tents outside.
Listen, if I had to sleep in a tent, I would. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You just won't.
Oh no, I will not. I absolutely refuse. It's just not happening.
I'll sleep in my car. Before I sleep
in a tent. Jess says if she has to, she'll sleep in a tent. I said I just flat out will refuse.
Tents are fun.
Well, okay. Okay, you made that. I'm gonna make you back that statement up. What about a tent is fun?
What about a tent is fun? I will tell you.
You took way too long to answer that.
No, I'm not.
He's getting settled back in
I'm getting settled back in here because I disappeared for a moment. Sleeping in a tent is fun because there is just something about sleeping outdoors. It is peaceful. It is
There's a certain
the best way
you could open windows for that.
The best way I can tell you is it's just peaceful. The smells, but there's just something about it where you know it's about as close as you're going to get to like sleeping like the old cowboys with just your in front of a campfire. It's very relaxing.
Now, have you ever slept not in a tent though? Just like that though, where it's
I have
old school. I did it one time, that I had to draw the line on.
Not when we were not like a campsite. We used to go upstate, you know, we would go around a campfire, which is probably about a good 20 yards from you know, the cabin. And, you know, as all the adults were hanging out, you didn't want to go to bed because, you know, it was fun. There was no video games or freaking, you know, 24/7 freaking, you know, Nickelodeon or whatever.
Yeah.
So you wanted to hang out with the adults. So you'd lay down a blanket and I'd fall asleep out. We'd always fall asleep outside.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll
I've
be
done
outside
that.
at night
That's
to look at the stars, and I love the outdoors. And living up in Massachusetts, used to go into Vermont a lot, New Hampshire in the summertime, and it's beautiful, but you end up inside.
The closest I came to sleeping outside was passing out in a flower bed in Maryland. That's about it.
What kind of flowers were they?
You know, or sleeping, like, we used to sleep out. Anyway. Whew.
I know a bunch of friends and we road tripped, and we ended up not being able to like afford a hotel, so we had to sleep outdoors. We had our sleeping bags and stuff, but that scared me. That scared me a little bit. I'll say that having a tent gave me a little more security, but not having one and being out in the open like that was
so a thin
rough.
Piece of fabric around you makes you feel better.
That made me feel better.
Because can't penetrate that.
Yeah. Now, when we were kids, or sometimes we would take, you know, our sleeping bags. We go sleep on the beach.
Okay.
You know, it was
there. You go. You're not that
different.
But we had the beach. There was always like at least a convenience store right there.
I slept on the beach before. Beach is different. You know? Beach is different than sleeping in the woods.
Different.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Like,
oh yeah, it was nicer. You know, you hear the water rolling in.
Yeah, I mean it's peaceful, and you know what's
bonfires going.
Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, sleeping in the woods, away from like civilization is completely different.
Maybe I've just seen too many horror movies. Maybe
Probably.
that's what my issue is. I just know what can happen.
I figure if I'm 5 miles up a mountain, and if a freaking killer's up there, then please. If you literally are out there and you've actually been able to travel 5 miles up a mountain, and you have a hockey mask on, and I'm up there too, then just kill me.
I mean, I'm sure there's definitely some weirdos, you know, because when I used to hike, you know, there'd be people who are like permanent residents of like certain areas. Like you could tell that there's something not right going on, but you know, there's also people out there doing things that they're not supposed to. Like, remember when we went on that little hike and those people were looking for those truffles and stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
I always camp with it. I always like when I went up the mountain, I always go with a gun.
Well, that's what these guys were definitely not hiking. They weren't hiking for like, hey, we're on the scenic route. Like they were
hiding.
Like, well, they like in that area, it was like big trafficking to like get stuff and move stuff, and it was like they looked at us like, how dare you be? Because we veered off the path. Like, of course, we didn't stay the path. We're going through this area we probably shouldn't have been in, you know. But yeah, but when I used to go camping, it was always the hiking part and doing all of that made the camping also just super cool.
Yeah.
So
no, when we've hiked up the Appalachian Trail, I carried a gun. I carried a pistol with me.
Yeah, well, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's less for the animals and more if there are any weirdos that are hiking along the way than anything. Animals are
we
just
would definitely need the gun.
Not a big thing. What at the Marriott?
Yeah.
If it's a low quality one, you never know. There's definitely different star Marriotts.
Yeah, you never know, you know.
Carrie, load the gun.
We've stayed in some
load
crappy
the gun.
Marriotts.
I'm calling for room service.
Yeah, I'm going to get ice. Load the gun. Yeah.
Exactly.
You got my back. You covering me. I'm going for
the
ice.
Concierge room. We don't have access to all the time.
I'm calling for room service. Get the 9 loaded.
Oh my
we all know this guy's gonna try and freaking rob us.
I know.
Yeah,
Jen and Kevin are looking through the hole.
We got the lock on the door.
Yeah, Graham and I stayed at a really nice hotel where they had a downstairs, you know, like all these, you could rent a waffle maker, a toaster, you just signed it out and you took it to your room and you could make waffles.
That's great.
You know, it was awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so much fun.
I do like waffles.
When you wake up in the morning and
that's tough in it.
Yeah,
that's tough in it. Hey man, I signed out a waffle maker and I made waffles in my room. So fuck
the
you
one
and your
hotel we
camping.
stayed at, like the breakfast buffet was like 40 feet long, and so while you and Kerr are making your bacon, me and Jen are eating our waffles.
We're way ahead of the game.
We have to bring that. When I was when I was a kid and we would go camping and stuff, like my aunts and uncles and stuff, if we didn't catch anything, we didn't eat anything. Like they brought very minimal food. Like we would rustic camp.
You bring a mountain pie maker. If you know what a mountain pie maker is.
No, right? I don't.
It's seriously
some sort of cast iron device.
It is. It's shaped like a square and it's two sides, and then you bring bread and cheese. Yep. No freaking Miracle Whip,
like a Hot Pocket.
And then what you do is you take your bread and you put it on either side, and you put the cheese in, and you clamp it together, and then you put it in the fire, and it cooks it and makes it toasted cheese.
Hot Pocket.
It's really you can use that for anything though. You can put hot dog, like you can.
Well, yeah, we put everything in there. We used to put sauce. I mean, we make like little. It's a mountain pie maker. That's what we called them, mountain pies growing up.
Yep.
Can you make fried pies in them?
Huh?
No.
Fried pies. Add some oil.
You could bring whatever you want, but the thing is, like, if you didn't have food or you didn't kill anything or catch anything, at least you had a loaf of bread, a freaking block of cheese, or whatever, and then your mountain pie maker.
The basic stuff.
Yeah, after this show is done, I'm actually going to call my dad and thank him for loving me enough to never have taken me camping.
But
I appreciate what you did for me as a child.
No, it taught me really good skills, but they also took us out and they taught us about certain plants and certain things you could eat from the wild and stuff. So when the apocalypse comes, you're dead.
I think I'll be okay because Kevin worked in a library, so I feel he would have the knowledge base to know the plants. Yeah. So I would be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust Kevin.
I will at least take us to the state that has the nosy nose versus the knockoff version. At least we would. I would know that. So
the apocalypse. This is the area where the factory that made the dosey dos are actually called peanut butter. Great, Kevin, go make a fucking fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see who would survive.
Kerr definitely would survive. Joe would run away. He won't. Definitely.
Jen and Joe are my Happy Meals. They're going to be the Happy Meals. There's a zombie apocalypse.
When we lived
I'm assuming the apocalypse takes me out anyways. So, I mean, I'm just assuming I'm not surviving it.
When we lived in our old house, we were walking Cooper, and it was this big hill, and there was a house that had an invisible fence with the dog, and we're just walking. Joe's real little, and the dog comes running out, barking. Joe throws the only Gatorade bottle that we're carrying because it was hot out at the dog and runs away. And I'm standing there with Cooper. He just runs. And it's a blind hill, so I'm screaming at him. He could have got hit by a car.
Run away.
And the dog
I'd be 3/4 of a mile away and realize I forgot Jessica.
Joe just took off.
But Wyatt would have stood there and walked in the yard and tried to pet the dog.
Oh, yeah.
You just tell him the story.
Yeah. So we're at the bus stop.
No, not we. You.
I was at the bus stop like a week ago, whatever, picking Wyatt up, and I noticed like 2 houses down, guy's out washing his car, got a cute little pit bull running around.
No, you didn't notice that.
No, I noticed that at the beginning.
Okay.
So the bus comes. I get out of the car. Wyatt comes up to the bus, and then
comes up to the car.
Comes up to the car, and the next thing I know, there's the pit bull is at the back door. Wyatt just
back door
or the back door of my truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Wyatt opens up the door and tells the pit bull to get in. Some strange dog. The dog hops in. Wyatt hops in, closes the door, and it's just
Stella has a friend.
Ready to go now, and I'm like,
he's all kissing the dog.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's just. So obviously I knew, so I just drove around, and then the guy's whistling for his dog. I roll the window down, like, "Is this your dog?" He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And
that's funny.
Yeah, Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt just was like, "Get in."
Yeah. Wyatt's just
get
in.
Strong smelling.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was funny. So that dog would have ran up to Wyatt. He'd have bited him in.
So the next day, I hadn't seen the dog yet. So the next day, a couple days later, I was at the bus stop, and I seen the guy was outside with the dog, but the dog was on a chain.
Now this dog invisible will go right up to the invisible fence, but Joe just will take off, and he's admitted he will just run. He is out for himself, and that's it. He has good cardio.
So. Yeah, I loved you, Mom.
Sorry,
that's
Mom. Exactly what it is.
Bye, Mom.
Yeah, he's like, I'm on the track team. I'm out.
That would be Gabby. She'd be like, she'd push one of us into the fence.
Yeah, I can see Joe doing that too.
Yeah.
Move. Kevin would do that. He'd be like,
like he gets mad when I unlock the driver's side door, and when the way I open it, it doesn't unlock any other door yet until I manually unlock it, and he's standing there thinking if something was to happen, he's not in the car yet. So now I purposely just do that.
Oh my God, that's so
like Zombieland.
Oh yeah, like if I'm in like I go into like a gas station to get something, and then I get in the car and I'm like getting settled, but as soon as I get in, I lock the door.
No,
and then I get settled.
No. Kevin, if he's home alone, all the doors are locked. Even the bathroom door, he locks
bathroom
because somebody could come in and rape him, is what he said.
Yeah. But you need.
No.
I'm like that guy who invites intruders.
It could be a day where I'm not having to go to work or anything.
No, I always lock the door.
You have not the last 4 times. I have checked. Unlocked. So it's okay if the kids and I get murdered or raped, but you are by yourself, a grown-ass man, locks the bathroom, all the doors, the garage door's down, the front door's locked, and your bathroom door's locked.
Yeah, I need time in case something happens.
I get yelled at if I leave the garage door open. Jen will be like,
I do get nervous.
She goes, the garage door's open? I'm like, okay. She's like, what if someone comes in?
But
I go, I hope they do.
His studio's out here. He has all his and he leaves his wallet.
It's
just
like,
out.
let him come. I hope someone comes here. It's
that bothers
me. I invite the intruder to come in. Come on.
You do.
Because whenever, like you said about the dog and stuff, it's like Joe runs and everything else, and I'm always like the guy who's like, get behind me. Get behind me. Oh, there's a missile coming? Just get behind me. I'll take care of it. No problem. Because we had the kids were, this is back, I was living in Pittsburgh. We were out in the baseball field, goofing around, and somebody had their dog loose and it came running at the kids. It came running at us. And when they were running the bases, this dog comes running at us. I yell to the kids, I go, come here. The kids start running at me and I start running at the dog. The freaking dog stopped and ran the other way. Right. And I was like, well, it's just kind of,
There's like that fight or flight situation.
I was sitting next door, and this is before Jess moved in with my neighbor Peanut, and right in our backyard, a bobcat, pretty good sized bobcat, just appears, and we're looking at the bobcat, and then there's a rabbit, little bunny, probably 10 feet from me and Peanut, and at one point the bobcat makes a run, starts running right towards us, right towards the bunny. I don't know what happened. I jumped out of the seat or the chair and ran straight at that bobcat. Like I was about to fight a bobcat
for a bunny,
for a goddamn bunny. And that
That's
bobcat
different. I'd be freaking the opposite direction over a bunny.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, but it was instant. And I come back and Peanut's like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Is that he was not getting that bunny? Not on my watch.
I was dumb.
Not on my watch.
I'm like, that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
That's great.
I wouldn't go after a wildcat. There's no way.
Well, not if it was a bunny. If the kids or the family was around,
if it's
different.
If it was coming at my kid, forget it.
And years ago when I used to carry my gun, now when Jess and Wyatt and the kid, everybody moved in, like I said, my guns are locked up, and but I would carry my gun in the car, and then I was around probably a block or two away, had the gun in the car, and there was a pregnant lady walking. 2 dogs had run up to her, and I'd never seen the dogs. She started screaming bloody murder, and then the dogs were jumping on her, I jumped out and with my gun, and I was a split second from shooting those dogs.
Yeah.
And it's actually it's right at Wyatt's bus stop. If you look across straight the fence in, and then the owner yelling, running. They're friendly, and I was.
But they weren't if they were attacking her.
But I didn't know. And then once everything calmed down, they were like Stella, happy dogs.
Oh, they were just.
They just were excited.
But she, all I saw, pregnant woman screaming bloody murder, and then almost shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happened. There was a lady walking her dog down the street, and in seconds, Stella just was running. But yeah, I could see how that would look kind of scary. Here comes this white ass pit bull coming at you.
Because you never know.
All she wanted to do was play with the dog, and she stopped. She stopped before she even got to them. Lady instantly starts screaming. So her dog reacts. Her dog actually lunges, grabs Stella by the neck. I'm running. My neighbors are all out like watching this. And I'm like, stop screaming. Calm down. Your dog is biting my dog. I understand it's defending whatever, but calm down. She finally stopped screaming. I was able to get her dog off Stella. Stella ran back to the house, was like, she didn't even come at them though. She just was running. So the lady is what set the tone. She was like,
yeah, the dogs are just reacting to that.
Yeah.
Some of them. I shouldn't say all of them. You just don't know.
But I was like, shut the fuck up, lady. Stop screaming for 2 seconds so your dog doesn't freak out anymore. Her dog was the aggressor in that. But I get it. Stella ran towards them.
Yeah. Well, when you said dogs like that, it's freaky because you hear and you read about all the different attacks. It's like when you see an animal running at you or running at, someone, that's the first thing you think of is, I'm not going to take a moment to see if this dog is going to be friendly. Yeah.
And it's not like Cooper, who's fat and slow and lazy and like a giant, yellow Twinkie running at you.
Yeah. Danger ahead.
And I totally understood where that lady was coming from. I mean, it was like, for me, like I've been places where dogs have been like that, and it's always you stay calm. When you're calm, things calm down. Not always, but usually that's like my approach is to stay calm. I get that's not everybody's approach, but I didn't falter. I told Kevin, I was like, great, fucking police are going to come to the house now and take the fucking dog because this lady fucking had a cardiac, and I get it. It would be scary.
I got bit by a dog by somebody. I was jogging in my old neighborhood in Pittsburgh and this guy comes walking out. He had 2 Great Danes on leashes. These dogs weighed more than him, right?
Like those big ass dogs.
They see me running, they break free of him and start running at me. So I'm running, he's screaming, they're friendly, they're fine. The one dog's running next to me. The other one, he gets the leash and he's like, holding on the leash. So the dog's trotting next to me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to run back, so he'll follow me back to the owner. I come running back to the owner. The other one lunges at me and I put my arm up and it bit me right here.
Oh my God.
And I freaking came across with a right and clocked it on the side of the head. It let go. Luckily, it was cold out, so I had Under Armour and a jacket on top. And the guy just was like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, that's fine. I checked. His teeth went through the jacket and into the Under Armour, but didn't do any damage to me. I had some, black and blue marks. And he knew that. He's like, Dan, I could be screwed right now. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, it's cool, He's like, well, here's my name and number. If you have to go to the hospital or if you need any emergency, anything happens, let me know. The next day I woke up, my arm was black and blue and sore from where the dog bit me. Now, I never really never understood this until that happened. Next day I go jogging with my headset in, and every single noise, I'm like looking around. I got free. For about a week, it was like that.
Now, were you like younger? I mean, as an adult, or when did this?
This was probably about, 15, 14 years ago.
Still, okay. I can see how it could be traumatic. Like I'm saying, like
it freaked me out.
I can understand where that lady was coming from. Like I get it. That's why I was like, oh my God, shit, we're fucked. Like the dog, someone's coming and taking our dog and putting our dog down, even though she didn't do anything.
Right.
I could only imagine because I have been to the dog park where dogs come at you, and it's intense.
And you got to remain calm. Like you got to remain calm. And I was nice and calm with this dog.
But you're going to defend yourself.
But inside, I'm sitting there thinking, if this dog does anything, and he's like trotting next to me and being friendly, but the other one freaking.
But I find that weird because Great Danes, they're normally like the most dopiest, like
they are the couch
Freaking
potatoes.
dog like lunged at me, and he was a big ass dog too. Because when I put my arm up, he was like, he bit me. I was standing. I'm 6 foot, and he was like right there. And it was a big, it was freaky. God bless you.
At the time, Stella was still, like, she still was very, like, rambunctious and, like, a pup, like, in a sense. Now, she's pretty good. She doesn't really jump on anyone. Occasionally, she still jumps. But for the most part, she's pretty mellow. We can open, the door. She'll go out in the garage. She doesn't run off. But now, maybe if there was a squirrel or a rabbit, she might go after it. I don't know. But now she's a lot more calmer. But then I was thinking, oh my God, they're going to put her down. Like, that's it.
No.
This lady's going to call the police. They're coming to the house and like, that's it. That's all she wrote. They're not going to ask any questions. They're just going to take my dog and kill it.
We have groundhogs that pop up in our yard from time to time.
They're all named Gil, by the way.
Yeah,
we just named
Greenville
him
Gil. And Cooper will like, Cooper, where's Gil? And he'll get all excited. And he usually will let him out and they'll run at the groundhog. The groundhog will see him, go through the fence and be gone.
Yeah. They're pretty big, too.
This is the one time groundhog turned and ran into the fence, thought it had an exit and didn't. Cooper got up face to face with the groundhog. Neither one of them knew what to do. Cooper was just like, this never happened before.
Yeah.
I'm face to face with the groundhog that they keep telling me to get. And they both looked at each other. And the groundhog just then took off and ran. And Cooper ran back to me like, yeah, dude,
I can see Cooper and the groundhog like, so what do we do now?
Exactly.
Cooper came back to me
like, I don't know.
Yeah. You look that way and I'll run. And it will look like
Cooper ran back to me like, dude, that was fucked up.
We can both save face here. You know?
Yeah, he wasn't cool. He was like, that was fucked up. Like, I didn't expect to be face to face with him. I'm coming back to you. I want I want to go back and lay on the couch because that was a little freaky for me. It was a little traumatizing.
Yeah, poor Koopy.
I mean, some dogs are just more aggressive toward, like instinctively, they're more hunter, type dogs. And there's some dogs who you would think would be aggressive and they're like, I don't give a shit if there's a bird, a squirrel, a rabbit.
It's also how they're trained and raised too. A lot of it has to do with how they're trained and raised.
I agree with that.
When I lived in Delaware, my buddy of mine lived in an apartment building, and across the hall 2 guys lived where they actually trained pit bulls to fight because they had dog fighting down there. And the one day I walked out and the dog was holding on to a baseball mitt and it was hanging about 4 feet from the ground. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And the guy's like, oh, well, we soaked that baseball mitt in blood. And then when he latches onto it, we pull the rope up so it strengthens his jaws so he doesn't let go. So when he's fighting, when he tastes blood, he won't let go.
Horrible.
And I'm like, if that thing attacks me, I'm dead. I mean, at that point, it becomes this vice grip. But that's how they train a dog.
And that's exactly what my thoughts were, is like, this lady has no idea that this dog is afraid of leaves blowing in the yard. Like, she has no idea that this dog hides under the bed if there's a loud noise.
Yeah.
She thinks this dog is going to kill someone or something. And I get that thing with, they're scary. She looks like a beast when she's running too. Her muscles are showing, but the people who train those dogs to be that way, that's not their first instinct. I 100% know that, is to not be aggressive. They're taught to be that way. That's like almost most dogs. Yeah. Some dogs are just mean. There are some dogs that are just mean. You can have them from a pup and raise, love them and try to train them, and there's just something off about them.
You gotta have a little speaker on her collar, so when she goes running, it just says, "Hi, I'm Coconut Head."
Exactly, the dog.
I'm very mellow.
The Doug from Up.
Yeah. I'm Coconut Head. I want to lick you. How are you?
Afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's taken me so long. Like, she doesn't. Something about water freaks her out. She won't hoses, pools, anything. I used to have to get in the bathtub with her and just sit, like no water, nothing, to get her used to just getting in the bathtub. What took me months, and then give her a bath. Like last night I had to give her a bath. She was filthy. So I just said, let's go. We're getting in the bathroom. She'll go in, and then she like looks at me, and then she just jumps in the bathtub, but I have to have the water on like a certain temp, and like it is a process. And she just like looks at me the whole time like,
not Cooper.
Okay, I'm okay for now.
Is that what I got to do to get you in the bathtub with me?
I think so.
Pretend I'm afraid,
No, but it took me a long time, and like that's just it. Like I spent a
Give
lot
me the
of
roadmap,
time
Kev.
working with her, and like granted, maybe rescuing a pit bull wasn't maybe the smartest decision, because of the stigma and everything. But like I couldn't imagine her not being.
But screw the stigma. You did the right thing, and it's a good dog.
Wyatt and
how
her
they're
are
raised.
like, but Wyatt and her, that's they're together. Like that's his dog, that's her person. Like I cannot separate them.
But
like
even
when
dogs that have that natural instinct, like Cooper is a hunting dog. It's a water dog, a golden retriever.
No,
he's afraid of water.
He's such not
you would
a
think that
golden
instinct, like he's a freaking golden retriever, like you're a hunting dog, Coop, and
He
you're a
can't find
water
shit.
dog.
Cooper looks like a cupcake hunting dog.
Yes.
What he looks like.
He is. He's a food hunting dog.
He looks for food.
I can understand how some hunting dogs don't like the sound of gunshots and stuff like that. That's one thing, but huskies, they're just used to pulling. They're born with that. That's inbred in their DNA. Yeah. And with retrievers and even labs. But Cooper, you spray water at him. You
thought you were throwing acid on that poor dog.
It's like, dude, you're a hunting dog. You're a water dog. What's up, bro? And he's just like, oh, fucking water. Why? This is scared the hell out of me.
Poor Coopy.
He doesn't even like when it rains on him when he goes out to pee and poo.
Oh, yeah. Stella, no. Yeah. Like, she won't go out.
She's high maintenance.
And I feel bad. Like, now I've gotten to the point where I can get her to go out. But it took, 2 years?
Yeah, and she still does. I always say she does not like getting her vagina wet.
Well, I don't know about all of that. She just doesn't like it raining. But it took me 2 years to even just get her to, like, go out when it's, like, drizzling. I mean, downpouring rain, I get it. But, like, drizzling? Like, it's stopped, Stella. It's not even raining
now. He looks at you like, you want to go out there and poo and pee? I can hold it, man.
I've had to walk Cooper out front because of the weather. He just won't go outside. And if I don't take him out, he's going to wake me up at 2 a.m. to go out.
No, I've even gotten an umbrella, and she's terrified of the umbrella, so that's not going to work. I've opened the garage door and just...
Cooper thinks he's going to, get beat by it. You raise anything up to him, and he's like...
Yeah, it's just... So I don't know if we ever do rescue another dog. I don't know what kind of dog it would be. It would just be whatever, I guess, appeals to us and needs the rescue love.
Be another pity.
I don't know. Maybe.
No.
Who knows? I just know that I would rather rescue a dog than get a puppy.
Yeah.
Puppies are a lot of work.
No, they are. I mean, I think with Stella, though, it would have to be a dog that works. They have to get along, obviously, and have to have her energy. I mean, that dog can run. Whew. She can run.
We got to get a rescue dog that's just lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be opposed to getting a senior dog. I know that's kind of sad, but I wouldn't mind giving them the best rest of their years.
I agree with that.
I could totally do a senior dog. So, but Stella's too high maintenance right now for a senior dog. She'd want to play, and they'd be like, "Get away from me."
Yeah. Been there, done that.
So we hit food to dog rescue tonight.
Yeah.
We have
and camping and everything in between.
Camping and everything.
And Velveeta and Miracle Whip sandwiches.
If anybody takes anything from this,
do not eat that.
It's delicious. Don't listen to them.
Put mustard and ketchup on whatever you want, but do not eat Velveeta and cheese on Wonder bread.
You're missing out on something wonderful.
Sandwiches, yes, but not Miracle Whip.
And Miracle Whip.
No Miracle Whip.
So,
it's great.
Right, well, it's definitely been another fantastic episode, another fantastic insight.
Episode number 3.
Number 3. So I guess we'll leave it with I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
we're
bullies make
Jessica. Here, let's do it again.
Jess. Are we gonna do it again? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
bullies make good friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.
That was so long, Jess went right back to the beginning. We are the Broad Street Bullies.
I know.
You have to hit finish.